Where did Polaris leave that letter?
All right, so we start. Polaris has a knife in her chest
Oh,
already.
these are very different.
Ready to
Oops.
go.
Moving around.
In Roll20, I can go over some of the general structure of how I'm going to keep our clock management going.
Clocks, yeah.
I've got four different segments here, sections kind of. We have the scene section. That is things relevant to right now. We have the campaign section, which those are more long-standing clocks. That some things from the scene might move over to the campaign. PC's clocks, I'm just going to put them all vertically there. And then the faction clocks. The faction clocks are what the NPC factions will do whenever you downtime. Whenever you take downtime, you guys can always decide when you want to take downtime. I will start advancing some of these clocks. Some of them might not advance every time because some of these clocks are relevant to both Wednesday group and Sunday group.
Holy
Yeah.
shit,
So I don't want
These
those
actually-
to like double up.
These actually look good.
Thanks. They're all I have to do is click it, or right click it, and then I can change. They're multi-sided, so I can just quickly adjust how many things are full.
No.
Alright.
So things will advance.
I-
Generally, if it's a yellow clock and it's got yellow words, it's a bad thing. If it's a blue clock, it's generally a good thing. Although the
Why not?
exception of the scenes for the blue ones, those are kind of your health, the life bars for those things. So
Why not
Triton
red
forces
text for the bad?
now.
because I don't have
Lucian,
red
do
clocks.
you have
I
any
wanted
way
the
to
text to
silence
match
these
the
children?
clock color.
Michaela, you might want to do push to talk.
I haven't figured that out right now. Okay.
Do you have any way to silence these children?
Yeah, I think that's your
I
father.
wish there's so many of them. Wow.
No,
Give me a second.
she literally said that.
I found these. Ed, I Google searched Roll20 Blades in the Dark multi-sided clocks, and somebody had
you
a
got
Google
these.
Doc. Somebody had a Google Doc with every single different, because each clock is essentially its own picture. So
Okay.
the way is you assign a different picture for every single little one. So like if we look at like Triton forces here, like I can very quickly just choose a new side and be like, boom, new clock.
Alright.
So you essentially assign a different picture to every single side. So they had a Google
That's how I did mine.
Drive folder that had like
Oh,
1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks.
Right.
So they had blue and yellow. So I was like, all right, that's cool. But yes, Josh, I agree with you. If I could have had one of them be red, I would have had one of them be red. One of the other people.
You can
so-
you can right click the image and just give it a red hue. That's not complicated.
So complicated. So complicated. So yeah, so we got 4. I might add more factions. We'll see. To not make downtime a total downer. And good guide factions get to do stuff too. Which right now the main ones are Bastion itself, and Leah is currently her own faction.
Okay.
Doing Leah.
Leah is her own faction?
It's more so like Leah is an important NPC. So Leah gets her own little clock of what she's doing. If Amari was more relevant right now, Amari would have his own clock. So we're kind of just... Whatever is important at the time will have its own stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, where did we leave off last time?
I don't remember. I think last thing
Women
I
in the
remember is we plunged
water.
into the water. It's the last thing I
Yeah,
remember.
we did a couple attacks as far as I
About the last
remember.
thing. Yeah, we just did a couple.
We were making our
Failed
way toward the
every
bubble. We
single
had
roll.
the two squads. We had one that was gonna go in, and then one that was gonna work around the outside on the edge, I guess.
There's a castle one. So there's a castle and the castle town itself are both in this dome.
Yeah.
It's sort of like hexagonal sides to this giant like metal, not even see-through dome. That these beasts they have punctured a hole inside of, and they've gone over. One team was going to go in the castle to rescue the nobility, and the other was going to save people. They're just going in the castle town itself. I believe the way it is the Triton
Yod is
forces and Yod. We're going to go to the castle. We're going into the town, whereas the PCs and Augusto, Sardine, and
Sardine.
Tatsuo going on the castle team.
I think he was. He was going on the same team as his brother.
Yeah.
Because we had Triton picked us specifically to go in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Us in particular, because Yod was doing the other thing.
Yeah, we
Because
sent Yod on other duty.
Yes, so we don't have to control them right now. Definitely not.
Yeah.
The way we will usually do things, since Tatsuo is not a PC right now, is either I will or you can grab them as we go through, and it'll just be like a buff. Like, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, that's
but then
right. He was a buff.
Tatsuo is shooting at the same guy too.
Henchman.
Yeah.
Yeah, a buff works. I'm into it.
And there was a lot of other interpersonal drama where Michaela and Kristen didn't get along too well, which we're gonna see
That was
a whole
cool.
lot of on Sunday. If you guys, man, yeah, if I wish you guys could tune in and see what's gonna happen next Sunday. There's gonna be betrayals. There's gonna be PvP.
Beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a
You're gonna
clusterfuck.
die.
But we left with you guys plunging deep into the water, instantly entering combat, assailed by these almost form fluid creatures that they have limbs growing and receding outside of them. They sort of adopt the form of things that are similar nearby. Like some might be shark-shaped, some might be even Triton-shaped, but they're clearly crude monstrosities on what they're based off with. We saw one shot.
Water temple sort of shit, like
they're all they are pitch black. They've come from.
Oh, they're not even water. They're
not even water things. You guys have also found out through Yod, at least, whatever is threatening. So Bastion sealed itself off from the dwarven city of Lodlor long ago because they were having a bunch of fighting back some unknown threat. This seems to be the same thing that was threatening Bastion and still knocks on Bastion's door to this day. But it's found its way to these fun Triton folk. They look kind of like the Heartless, except not as cute.
Okay. Not cute. Darkness. Yeah. I got it.
You know the Heartless I'm talking about. The little dudes with the big head. They're very cute. The last shot, I think. What was that?
Disney game, that fun stuff. Yeah.
I think we get a repeat of one of our last shots last time where there's one giant beast lunging towards the party as Church blasts a hole through the center of it, putting it down. You still see there's one creature, roughly, I'd say, about 3 stories tall. This big, it's got these big, almost like a hammerhead shark arms that it looks like is This is the beast that has punctured a hole into this domed city that will be blocking your way in. You still have all of your Tritons with you, and there's I guess you've drawn their attention at the very least as a small fleet or a small flight of these dudes start to swim, propel, however they seem to locomotive themselves to you. What do you do? Augusto Sardine is in the front. Who would be in the vanguard of this party with them? Are you hanging back behind the soldiers? Are you trying to go front and center? There's about to be another major. I guess it's the classic. You got 2 armies converging at one point here.
I mean,
also you can talk just fine in the water with your magical buffs that you got.
Church is back.
Church, you have some sort of buoyancy on you, so you don't just You have the ability to go up if you.
I think it's a situation of him like transforming and putting out like the cooler jets thing that like stop the flow, so they like come out and like slow him down. And when he transforms into there, he's just firing down from that. So I turned to like an umbrella effectively.
It's like a Gundam jetpack thing going on where it's got like the articulating. Yeah,
Something
dude.
cool, transformer wise. I'm a robot man, so.
Well, last time we were in the back with Polaris because we are not that. We're new to the water.
That's right.
That's why. Yeah.
Polaris and Oreo were in the back. Rio, I think, in front because Rio's a good boy. So Rio, you see. So we also, I have two clocks here already made in the scene: the Ravenous Beast and the Siegeberger clock. Once those fill up, they're essentially quelled or killed during.
Okay. Did we already get a hit off on them? Because I know that we got 2 successful attacks off.
That was sort of like the preliminary little thing. So this is sort of like a starting now.
Gotcha.
I would have made it a bigger clock. So instead of it being an 8-sided clock, it's a 6-sided clock, if that makes sense. So there's a pack of all of these things. I think even like at random parts in these amorphous arms, there's like little mouths with teeth coming out of them they're all trying to get at you and surround you. Rio, what do you do?
Obviously, I would take a sword out, or no, maybe both, because this isn't 5e anymore. I'm gonna take both my great sword and my single-handed sword out at the same time.
All right.
And just one in each hand and do like a double sweep kind of thing.
Give me an engage roll.
Oh,
you meet this.
What's
force.
my engage? Only one.
So, again, I have 1 check and engage. Great, 3. How would I roll that on a d6?
So you roll just your engage. So it's 1.
A single
d6.
d6.
Crit number is going to be for when you want to resist things.
Okay.
For however many dice you want to roll, it's just going to be engage. So we're going to go through all of... Yep.
Tatsuo would back up his brother if he needs another die.
All right. So you'll be rolling 2 dice. So first thing we're going over are your dice.
Yep.
You're going to have 2. You can always get 1 bonus if you want somehow. You can push yourself for 2 wear to get a bonus die. Somebody can help you at the cost of 1 wear. In this case, Tatsuo is helping you out. So you get that one for free. Or you can always ask for a devil's bargain, which is we just come to some sort of agreement. I get something I want, you get something you want,
right?
But you end up with a +1 die.
Those are fun.
So in this case, you have Tatsuo helping you. The next thing would be your position, which I'd say is risky. These beasts are sort of the cannon fodder. There are 3 positions. There's limited, or there's controlled, risky, and desperate. The harder the position, so desperate has worse consequences than risky, which has worse consequences than controlled. Controlled, it would be like if Church is sitting in the back, taking up shots, not really being harried by anything. He's going to be acting in a controlled manner. Whereas you're kind of in the front lines, it's going to be a little riskier. So and then the third one is your effect, which the effect is sort of, like that's your how much damage do I do? How good is my roll? Or how good is it? Here, since you're normally fighting a huge pack of dudes, if you're fighting a huge pack of dudes by yourself, you'd have limited effect because they just outnumber you and you're just attacking into a horde of dudes. However, you've got an army with you, they got an army. You're fighting on equal ground, so it's standard effect. Most rolls will be risky with standard effect. That's kind of your default.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and give me that 2d6.
2d6, so one per check mark in each thing, or how does it work if I take more engage? I guess. So
you roll a number of dice equal to the amount of check marks and engage you have.
Okay, that's what
and so you got 1 and your +1, and then you would take the highest of the 2.
+1.
Oh, the plus. Oh, whenever I say +1 in this system, I
The
mean
additional
+1
die.
die. You never add or subtract anything to the dice.
Okay.
Then.
So
You
just
also never
straight up,
add dice together.
just straight up 2d6 then.
Yep. It is
Gotcha.
a math limited system. Very
Josh, you
little
gotta-
adding, subtracting.
You got to roll physical with me, Josh. I know you got that good,
Want me to
that
roll
good
physical?
case. I know you
I
got
gotta get
that.
my tray.
You got
I'll
an
roll the
awesome
first one
tray
digital. I'll
after,
pick up the yeah.
just to show off your tray.
6 and a
Ooh,
4.
a 6. So we'll go over what all these mean again. There are 4 different results you can get on your highest d6. 1 to
Okay.
3 is a fail. You don't get what you want, something bad happens. 4 to 5 is a success at a cost. You get what you want. Also, maybe you get hit, something bad happens. A 6, you did it, you got what you want, nothing bad happens. I get fucked.
Get him.
If you got 2 6s,
Fucked anyway.
2 6s is a crit. If you you have to roll 2 dice, and then if you get 2 6s, we surprisingly haven't seen 2 6s rolled in Sunday at all yet. They're
We've
bad.
gotten
I don't even know. I'd say it's rare for us to ever get a 4 or higher on Sundays. Everybody's rolling egregiously bad.
See, now I have to tag along for Ed's Ironsworn campaign, or he dies. So
Oh, I never.
I
Really...
did tune in. I did have that on the background for a little bit.
Hey, thanks
Was it
for
last
stopping by.
Sunday?
Saturday.
For some reason, I roll like a god in that Ironsworn
Some
game. I don't know
reason.
why.
You have the better stats.
There are no pluses and minuses, bro. It's straight up like 2 challenge dice, right? And
No, what are you kidding me? You have a 4, 2 3s, 2 2s, and a 1. Anyway, let's keep going.
then usually rolling wits, it's like a 3 straight even. So I don't know how I get strong hits all the time. But yeah,
I
so
just
yes.
remember talking shit about that system being like, it's impossible to fail in this system. Fucking so good. Oh my god.
And then you watch Ed play.
Lose.
That poor character. That poor character this whole time. This
Dude,
whole
that game
time.
murders people. Okay, I don't care what anyone says.
So 6 is
6 and a 4.
So in this case, by default, if things are like standard effect, that is going to be 2 ticks on a clock. If you have great effect, it's like 3 ticks. And this isn't just combat. This is just in general towards acting towards that.
Okay.
So standard effect is 2, limited is 1, none is 0. So if don't do a roll if I'm like you'll have no effect. That means if you succeed, nothing will happen. So
Like
as
the
you fight
DM asking,
these-
are you sure you want to do that?
Essentially.
Are you sure you want to do that?
So I'm gonna go ahead and tick 2 on the ravenous beasts here. So if we look here, it should be updated for everybody. Boom. As Rio expertly slices away at these guys, nothing bad happens. They don't even get a scratch on you. Rio, how do you keep your is this just like another weird thing you've run into, Rio? How are you phased at all by these creatures? How are you handling it?
I don't think so. After being in the mire,
There's
been enough. There's been enough horror with all of the hobgoblin raids and stuff like that. It's really hard to phase them at this point. And as far as physics underwater works, just another day of training.
And I think especially as you cut into your first one, it's just that you get that warm little like, oh, they bleed just like everything else. This almost they have like this sort of yellowish acidic that you hear can like sizzles in the water as it sprays out a little bit. It doesn't get on any guys, and it's not particularly harmful in limited
Pop
doses.
rocks. We got pop rocks.
Pop
We're good.
rocks. Yeah, they bleed pop rocks.
All right.
Church. We cut to you. You're transformed in the back. What do you do?
I see Rio cutting away at some of them, and there's still more around him.
Yeah, it looks like there's a big group the Tritons have engaged with their spears, and there looks like there are a few bigger ones in the back kind of making their way up. Some of them even just like eating the things as they go, their own friends. They don't seem to be terribly organized, but they look like if you were to take a big mob of people and just kind of direct them somewhere.
Yeah. I think he will try and identify the most, the biggest threat and deal with that first. What? Just from looking down at this, is it this bigger dude?
So the bigger threat. So there is one. The siege breaker itself is this giant beast that's still on the cage of the city, if you will. It hasn't quite engaged you guys yet.
No, I think I will just aid Rio and try to shoot a couple of these guys off his like shoulder kind of situation.
It is worth. There's a couple other things you can do. You can always do what is called a setup action, where you do something and then pretty much if you succeed, you give the next person a +1 die. You can do a group action at times. For example, if you guys were all just like going in a melee, you could do a group action where you all roll, you're engaged, you all roll the same stat, and then you all benefit from the highest roll amongst you all. But whoever leads the group action takes a number where equal to your failures.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I remember.
And then there might be something else I'm forgetting about right now. But if you're engaging, so engage is to directly confront a foe head on.
I don't want to
direct.
direct.
If you're sitting in the back shooting, that's going to be a little more of a finesse roll, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense because I have one in that too. I think I want to try and set up Oreo to have like an opener to like get in. Like, if there's anybody I can like just mark off so that they can engage with like next to Rio without any problems.
Yeah, you can make some space. You got some explosive shit on you, right?
Yeah, I could toss a grenade kind of situation. I have my static boy grenades that I flavored from the Thunder D&D spell.
Yeah. Go ahead and make what action you want to use. So as a note for this part, you decide the action you want to use. If I bring one up, it'll just be like me being like, it sounds like you want to make a roll.
I split everything pretty well, other than the Persevere at 2. So I think in this situation, because I don't think Persevere would make sense, I think it's just gonna be. I think Finesse can make sense here enough. But like, the way I want to launch this thing, since I'm not bound by too many statistical rules anymore, I think it's just my gun, because we're talking about how it changes shape again. I think it's just grenade launcher situation where I'm just.
Gotcha. And this is me trying to help you guys out, because always try and game the system. Don't be like, well, I don't want a meta game. This is a game built assuming you're gonna do so. So Persevere is kind of like withstand out. If you were to like Michaela's got a paladin. She plays. She's playing Shira on Sundays. Who a lot of times she wants to just get in the way, stand the guard, do all that. That'll be Persevere.
It's the same.
If you were to say Church is just like you're putting out, just covering fire, just blanketing it out there. You could say that's Persevere too, as you're just putting on like a consistent pressure.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like Iron Sword. Like, I tend to have to just look up the word because that's the
in the little Google Doc. I try and put a little description next to each one.
Continue in a course of action, even in the face of difficulty or with little to no prospect of success. I don't know if I'm in that situation. I feel like I am. I like Finesse.
Okay.
I think it works. To just be aiming well enough to get a shot off to open space for Oreo. So I kind of want to set.
Would you like a devil's bargain, or would you want to push yourself?
I could try to push. I have a sharpshooter. Push myself when I make a ranged attack at an extreme distance beyond what's normal for the weapon. I don't know if that's the case.
Maybe Sharpshooter is when you push yourself. So if you were to push yourself, you also get the benefits of Sharpshooter.
Oh, okay. And the benefits of it is unleash a barrage of rapid fire to suppress the enemy. Is that
too? That'll be like a massive. That's a big thing. So you can choose one of those. So that'd be like you're shooting from like a mile away.
Okay, so Sharpshooter just gives me a very long distance.
Very long distance, and also like you can. I might have to change that one a little bit, because this one is taken straight from Blaze of the Dark, where everything is like a flintlock. So being able to shoot rapidly is a big deal.
Okay.
So if there's something else you want in there, feel free. Actually, you can change.
If I think of something, I'll let you know.
If you have any drive, if your core ability
I don't have any drive.
is okay.
My core
When you get
ability,
some, then you can.
expend my drive to resist a consequence. Yeah, I don't have any drive right now. I'm only just at 2 wear,
Gotcha.
0 drive, 0 tear, 0 fails. I think I'll just can I just take a basic push yourself?
You can push yourself for 2 or accept the devil's bargain.
I'm gonna do the push because I'll never accept a devil's bargain unless it's no. I tend to do the devil's bargains when things get tight.
Gotcha.
This doesn't seem as tight.
So you get an extra die. Also, when you do push yourself, anything that gives you an extra die, you could instead choose to have increased effect.
Roger.
So if you were like, you know what, no, I really need to like hit big right now.
Yeah.
It's the gambling.
Can I do I get wear from pushing myself or tear?
You get 2. So you get 2 wear when you push yourself.
Okay.
However, when somebody helps you, it only costs them 1 wear, if that makes sense.
I think it's just me by myself, so I'm at 4 wear. Is there a wear max before it becomes tear?
Tear is at 10.
Tear is at 10. Okay.
Once you hit 10, you suffer a tear. It resets your wear to 0.
Perfect. And what's the tear max?
Tear max is currently 3.
Thank you.
However, I'm planning on, especially once you hit 2, offering you ways or deals you can make to get another one.
Get another
if
one.
that makes sense.
All right, I am firing down into my little torpedo. The thing. I got a 3 and a 2.
All right. So, mark one in your fail pool.
No, yeah,
the way we're doing your failure pool is once you have 3 fails. We used to do it where you take the number and you add the number, but that was complicated for people. So we're just doing once you get 3 fails, you get 1 drive.
Okay.
So you, I think you hit it, and you launch this thing in here. It explodes, but there's just so many of them that they quickly refill the space. So Oreo doesn't get
An opener.
Doesn't get an opener. Although, and then I don't think this isn't really like a big consequence move here, especially for the setups.
Just was not
Setups
able to do
aren't
it.
going to have as many of like consequences as that attached to them.
You do it or you don't.
Or else a lot of it just turns into, well, why wouldn't I just shoot them then? Why set them up?
I get that. I think it's just a failure to set up. That makes sense.
Because we still kind of go around in like turns.
Yeah. Everybody, it's like
just to keep it even. Although if you want to stick with it, we can stick with 1 person for a little bit as we go through.
True, if it fits canonically to the scene, it's the same as Iron Spire.
Either Michaela is really interested in what Kristen's doing, or
she's frozen. I think she's frozen.
She said she'll be back. She typed in the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, let us know when you're here. So then we just cut right back to Rio. Rio, you're tearing through this horde. I think that it's almost like the horde themselves are trying to engulf around you guys, completely. Normally, especially fighting, this might be a little different. Fighting a 2D battle is one thing, but now in the water with all these dimensions, it's harder to hold a consistent line, especially since you're outnumbered here. You see still a group's going in front of you. Another group is looking to sort of like reach back into that back line where Church is and Polaris currently. Do you keep swinging away here?
So it's trying to reach over us?
So they're kind of like all just like if they're coming down on them, they're like are trying to like encapsulate you in just like a full surround.
And I
think
move
like you're
up
a bunch of Marines and they're a bunch of Zerglings.
Yeah.
And they're trying to
I see the scene. I know it.
Oh man. Well, so we've got the one from under me, but then there's one coming up and over trying to hit the back line.
Oh yeah, there's dozens of them that are. Some are like locked with you. Others are just trying to like swim by, or just pushing through. Do you want to try and hold the line, or do you want to?
I want to try and cut off the ones going toward the back line.
All right.
Obviously. Yeah.
All right. What action do you want to make?
You got engage, exert, whatever sounds good. Exert makes sense.
Persevere. Exert is kind of like your athletics. If this is especially you, just like heavy swimming, cutting them off, doing that.
Yeah,
A lot
trying
of
to
these-
evade the ones behind me and stuff. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah. If you're like, going off, but then also keeping those other at bay, you
Exert
can
makes
usually
sense.
make a case for a handful of these.
Yeah,
Okay.
whichever of these words feels like it fits what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I'll try to, I guess, exert myself and move to cut off the group that's trying to pull.
You got a
fast
bonus
one,
in
so.
exert?
I have 1.
Nice, that's good.
I have 1 in exert, so I'm
Show 'em-
not rolling 0 dice.
Show him that.
Good.
Case.
Don't.
Show him the thing.
Yeah, I did catch some glimpses there. It's
It's a very nice case.
He's
a nice looking one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It smells
good.
like wood.
Smells like good. And then I got the dice vault. Okay. Pretty good.
Ooh,
Pretty
look at
good.
that.
Snaps open. I have a set of metal dice in there. That's pretty
Nice.
good.
Ooh.
Yep, and I got an engraving on it because we're all fucking nerds. We should all know what that is.
Oh yeah.
I can't read it.
Yeah. It's you got
Uh-huh.
pixelated.
Oh
thing.
no. Okay.
Oh, not all
Wanderer
Wanderer
lost.
lost. Yeah.
Nice.
I've got a Crown Royale bag of dice. So.
Custom engraving. Ooh, that looks very nice.
So yes, I will roll. What's that?
That's
that?
Michaela's case.
Oh, is that a tray?
Made by a friend who does woodworking, and she made this whole box and carved like 7 burnt like actual leather inside.
Oh,
But
cool.
There's a mess in there, so I'm not opening this. You probably know.
It's a working DM's case. Yes.
And I'll say if you can keep them off the back line, if you can keep them off Church, Church will be operating almost like he's got his own little like sniper's nest.
Please.
And continuing to operate in a controlled position.
I'll try to I guess kind of swim away from the ones that are chasing me, and then maybe try to go for the other ones above me. So I'll exert 1d6, right?
1d6. Unless you want to push yourself or accept devil's bargain. 4.
Nice.
All right.
Very
4
down
is a success. You successfully keep them contained. You're corralling them around, swiping at them, killing some.
Kiting. I'm kiting the
Kiting
zerglings. I'm like
You're
that
that
one
one
zealot in
zealot.
front of the gateway. I'm like, no.
Well, you're just not by the pot. I gotta get back to the
I'm
part
like
you're
stutter
pulling up,
stepping
Andy.
it, you know?
So the consequence here.
You should play StarCraft, Ed.
It's fucking great.
It's amazing.
It's a really good co-op mode. So the consequence here is I'm going to put 2 ticks on the Triton Forces clock. This is just overall as this fight goes, they're taking some scrapes and bruises here. Okay. So it's going to go from 1 to 3. Now here's the thing, since this is our first consequence. Whenever I say a consequence, right, and Michaela eats her hair, whenever I say a consequence, you can instead say, "No, Thomas, go fuck yourself," which you do anyway. But now you can actually stop me and force me to go fuck myself.
Camera.
So this is what's called a resistance roll, where you just do it. If you make a resistance roll, there is no if you succeed or fail. It just doesn't happen. So you can say, no, the Triton Forces don't take two ticks on their clock. In exchange, you have to make a resistance roll using either grit, wit, or spirit. So this is where your 3 in grit would come into. In which one of those 3 attributes is applicable to this? Which I would say in this one, probably grit, right? As you're just in the battle, swimming, doing that stuff. You roll 3d6, take the highest, as always. And you take a number of wear equal to 6 minus whatever you roll. So, for example, if you roll a 6, you take 0 wear. But no matter what you roll, even if you roll a 1 and take 5 wear, the consequence is avoided. This is how you very quickly lose your character to a bunch of tears, is resistance rolls. Just ask Kristen, who Kelder already has a couple and is turning on the party, and Jesse hates him, and it's gonna be a mess.
Oh, nice. Was he ever with the party? Let's be honest. Was he ever with the party?
That's a better question.
I think we'll let the clock tick on that one.
Because
Yeah.
another pro tip is it doesn't mean nothing means anything until a clock is
Well,
filled.
it's full.
So like once the Triton forces are filled is when they're done. Until then, they're still operating as usual.
Okay.
So a lot of times you'll see one clock. I remember in our Blades in the Dark campaign, I had one clock almost filled for like 4 sessions in a row. And I keep being like, all right, as a consequence, I'm going to finish. No.
We're just deflecting. Yeah.
There's
deflecting at
usually
that point.
never taking things off of a clock. If anything, you will start another clock to race that one to finish to stop its effect, if that makes sense.
Nice.
And we've kind of just gone over all of the rules of the game period. That's pretty much how everything works: combat, social interaction, and everything just follows this format.
Works for me.
Yeah, so they're just taking some scrapes, taking some bruises. Michaela, Oreo in the back, sort of getting her gills on, getting her fish senses going. What do you want to do?
I like the charades we get when she's muted. That's awesome.
Because I'm in the back, I only have not many abilities to do range attacks, so it's pretty much can I wait for something to come at me and then I can attack it because I'm much more of a head-on tank person.
Oh, you can just charge in there. It's not like we don't have you have a 30 feet movement speed. Everything's kind of by scenes. If anything, I'll do things by location. Like I'd be like, there's this location that you guys are fighting at. If you want, you could go over here. So here, it's just everything's in the same. You can engage as you want.
Because I promised Polaris that this one that I'm not going to let her be alone to stay alone. So it's pretty much going to be just covering Polaris while she tries to do magic. Emphasis on the try.
Okay.
Trying to give her a bonus when she goes, so she can do much more damage.
So your bonus will go to Church here, because Polaris isn't here, but this is still you holding that back line. So
Sure.
It sounds like if you're holding the line doing that, this is gonna be like a persevere roll. And
Wait.
Church will be like a setup for you. So you'll be controlled and you'll have +1.
Yes.
And you can roll with physical dice if you want. Okay.
Stopped you from hurting, and we're getting you an opening.
Get
There you
that
go.
case open.
Break them out. Break them out.
Pull all that crap out. Get it all out of there. DM notes. There's the dice.
Are those watermelon dice?
2.
So tasty.
You gotta see it. Gotta see one. There you go. What'd you
6. She got a 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Damn straight.
Church, would you like +1 effect or +1 die? on your
Oh, a
next roll?
die. I want to die.
Dice love me.
Please don't die.
We'll cut over to you, Church. As I think Tatsuo's still in the back. I think Tatsuo will give you increased effect on a hit, as he's also shooting. He's also, bolting things off. This seems very much like a protect the back line kind of fight, while you guys rain hell down on them.
Perfect. Rolling 2 for finesse to just start firing away.
Fire away.
All right. Yep. Umbrella mode.
Away.
3. Both of them.
3, both of them. All right, that's a fail. Mark another failure.
Got
Just
it.
building up that drive. This is you grind out the bad rolls on the less important fights.
I love apocalypse games.
So what happens here? Why? What happens?
It's too many. It's just it's too many for
okay.
a single shot to do much. So when I'm trying to take out one at a time, it's more like firing into the horde. It feels inevitable. So the shots go in, probably hit something, but I don't think it sustains an effect on the overall mass. So.
Gotcha.
It's just-
Consequence. So it's controlled. When you fail a controlled thing, the ticks on clocks from controlled are only 1 tick. It's not
Okay.
2 ticks. So I'm gonna put 1 on King Eldrune's life.
Okay.
As this is just, they're held up in the castle right now.
Yeah.
So they're not here. This is just you guys are running out of time, essentially, to get there.
Michaela's miming is perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I love we're getting like a theater too at the same time.
It's great.
Yeah, Rio, you hear behind you a little like, go get him. All right. It's somewhat awkward, Polaris. You feel a little emboldened, almost like almost a little drunk, but not like the bad parts of drunk, if that makes sense. You feel a little encouraged as you
Liquid
Great.
courage without the
they'll give
liquid.
you a bonus die and help you on your next die.
Oh, sick. Okay.
I
Bonus die.
forgot Polaris is not here. So what do you want to do? You've kept them at bay, and combined with Oreo. I keep almost calling you Shira, but so combined with Oreo, you're not really a threat. You've kind of kept them contained, as you will. I think the Triton forces move with you. I think it's almost like if they're trying to go high, everybody's kind of like shifting.
Okay.
With the wave.
Okay. It's like a space furball. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't know, I guess maybe if we've got him at bay now, probably try to punch through the middle, closer to the dome.
Yeah.
Try to kind of break through and maybe assist if we can.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, free one for Polaris, so I get
Yep,
two. I guess a
2d6.
rolling gauge. 2d6.
I'd recommend rolling 2 6s. That's what I would suggest.
I would also recommend rolling. Well,
Thanks.
4 and a 6.
Hey!
Damn it!
This
You're
is
so-
just
Not
real
bad.
Okay,
system.
what you were saying before is correct. You just roll better in this fucking game. these game types.
Now we get into 5e and it's always sub 10.
The D6 loves you.
You've had a D20 and then he's great. Anything
Yeah,
else
don't give me a
is
D20.
bad.
No, that's bad.
All right. So, yeah, you can puncture through here. 2 more ticks. So one more solid hit will end this mob.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oreo.
Nice.
Or at least maybe they will be dispersed, or no, not necessarily they're all dead, but
We'll have
they're
it
no
opening.
longer a threat.
Yeah.
Yes, you start Oreo. You see Rio make a move. I think Sardine reads it too and is starting to move with you to break through here to get to the siege breaker, which is your next step through. Which you could either choose to engage and fight now, or leave it for later. Try and just circumvent it a little bit. What do you do, Oreo?
Tyler. Like if we're now breaking acid, if we're trying to like get through it, I would try to use my staff to like push them away, just keep them at bay while we're going through. So it's gonna be an engage now, because now we're all pushing through, I believe. So I would like to engage by smacking them like almost like a torpedo type of motion, like in cartoons, like when they turn that at staff like ridiculously underwater. That's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you're probably like
You're not
pulling
using it as
Polaris
a-
with one hand
A
and
propeller.
yeah, go ahead.
And I have 2 and engage, so I roll 2d6s. Yeah.
Do you want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain? Or does anybody want to assist you?
I could try to assist. What does that mean?
So assisting just means you mark down one where, and she gets a bonus attack.
Sure. I'm gonna mark away.
And
have
but the
10
important
HP.
thing is you have to describe how you help.
What is the current action exactly? Describe it to me one more time. So
I
can think of
am
what
at-
I did.
I put Polaris's hands over my neck, and I will turn backwards and start propelling with my now new staff torpedo.
Okay,
through
Sarah.
the center, just pushing them awfully far away.
Never
that was
mind.
the
I
idea.
cannot think. I cannot think of.
I know.
You just go.
It's my old monk stuff. I'm trying to do some avatar mix shit.
No, it's cool.
Okay, great. Hope-
I
if it
don't think
works-
I don't think I can assist it without being really out there. So I think I'm gonna just. I think I stay in the back. I see him zoom by.
Gotcha. So 2d6.
do it. 2d6.
It's got
What
another
do we
six.
got now? Okay.
6.
Yeah,
Add
6
to
and a
6
2.
and 2.
All right, yeah, a 6. That'll do it. That'll fill the clock. As you guys successfully just break through this this mob.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Or why is she
Abby,
here?
what's your question?
I think a few of the Triton forces continue to stay on the side as you guys push through. You see in front of you this giant gosh, I call it the Siege Breaker, so just picture a Siege Breaker from Diablo 3, I guess. These like almost like really it's mostly it's long limbs with almost like hammer feet on this, like climbing around this thing, smashing it. Like think long limbs like a giraffe, but you know, built like tree trunks. As this thing is like 3 stories tall. It's just like wailing on this. I think you see part of like something get knocked through, and like one of these plates making up this dome breaks through and like goes crashing down through a building below. Do you want to engage this
do
siege
remember
breaker,
that.
or do you kind of just want to like make sure everybody's good first and then make your way over?
We should probably rally the troops, get everyone together before we push in. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Wouldn't Sardine want to like gather everyone up first? I mean,
Yeah, you guys have broken through the sort of like vanguard charge,
yeah,
and
front
you're
line.
all currently together. There's the siege breaker on it. There are more. Maybe you can start to see as you're swimming down. There are some scattered Triton forces. It looks like the castle itself is pretty holed up.
Okay.
So this is where this you will know if you do pass the siege breaker on the way in. Will likely still be there when you're trying to make your way out.
Yep. If we could, do you want to have somebody as bait to do this? Someone's gonna die. No. I should never recommend plans. That's how we die.
Plans, D&D. I don't know. We could maybe, since it's pretty safe-ish right now, I'd probably try to take the legs off this dumb thing.
Good
I'm gonna
try.
be firing
Maybe.
from the back, man. That'd be nice
Yeah,
support.
slow it down and cripple it maybe or something. So better chance to escape or whatever.
Okay.
Um,
Kelp and tie its legs.
so
Awesome.
who's
Get the
leading
snow
that charge
spider out.
in?
Keep one
If
of those
you-
in my
if
back
you're-
pocket.
If you're all charging at it, you can all make a group action for it. If you're all doing different things, you could do different stuff.
Churches
It's up to
support
you.
fire for
Who wants to
sure.
go?
I would assist because I can go at least with Rio. With Rio, I can go and be much more hands-on. So I would be like supporting. Like this would be at least I would be trying to support
Okay.
punching wise.
So if you're supporting, do you want to do like a setup action, or do you want to just assist Rio on his role?
you want to sit up or assist? That's a good question.
Assist sounds
That's
like
pretty
more
much
what you're
setting
doing.
somebody up. Setting somebody up
Oh.
requires a roll, whereas
Gotcha.
assisting just costs you 1 wear, but you don't have
I
to
would
roll.
do that. I will take the wear so I can do that, and
Alright.
I will give him 1 extra.
So you all dive in there. Rio, you got an extra die as Oreo is sort of harrying this beast. As you approach it, it like looks up at you, or it looks from the back as just this giant like mass just bursts out from the back. As this like hammery tentacle just reaches out to strike at you. Maybe Oreo goes in a little first and like sort of like takes the aggro, quote unquote.
Come at
to
me,
give you a chance
fishy!
to get in there.
My God. So I guess if she's distracting the weird tentacle shit, this is a really strange hentai run right now. I'm gonna find a joint probably on one of the legs, maybe in the back.
Okay.
I'd find a back leg or something, locate a joint, and then just try to.
Yeah, you find what you think is the back part of it. It's unclear, but it's
Whatever
definitely-
way it's moving,
it
I'm gonna
definitely
be
looks to
behind
be a
it.
joint there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
So
2d6.
it
I
is-
get a free one from.
You get a free one, or you can choose increase effect instead of the free die. It's desperate. This is a desperate roll. because this is quite the beast here, and it is limited effect. This giant, as you're going to be slicing into this thing, you got a long way to slice into this thick, almost like blubber on this thing to do anything. So that means you'll be inflicting 1 tick per hit on a hit with the clock.
So I can add a die or take increased effect. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Well, would that step it up a full 2?
Yep. So then you'll be doing 2. Each step of effect going up will increase it by 1.
Let's go for increased effect. Let's try it.
Mhm.
Why not? Give it a nice, wind up. You know.
You do have that magic sheath that you can teleport when you do that. So.
What?
Oh,
What?
All right, that is a failure.
No shit.
So consequence. So I can always assign multiple consequences too. I don't always have to be assigned just 1 consequence.
Gotcha.
And if in the case, I'm not doing that this time, but in the case of multiple consequences, if you want to resist them, you have to resist them individually. The consequence here is I'm assigning 3 ticks to Augusto Sardine's life as he tries to get by. Like you see like another one just jut out as you go to like slice at the back of this thing, but then it almost like almost defies physics and like bursts back, like the joint inverts in a way at you and it sort of knocks you back as these other legs just go in to like sort of clap down on you. So I will resist it.
Yep.
Also, here's the other thing: if you can explain it, anybody can resist other people's consequences.
Yeah.
So if Ed could explain how Church stops this from happening, Church could also resist it.
Okay.
But if you're resisting it, go ahead and give me a grit roll, Josh.
That's 3. So I take 3 and roll the highest.
3, take the highest, and then you take amount of wear equal to 6 minus that.
6 minus whatever it is. Okay.
If you crit, you remove 1 wear.
4.
4. All right, 2 wear. As that doesn't happen, you manage to get out of the way, and Sardine doesn't have to save you.
Okay.
Do we have Kristen? Is she back, or is she?
She's
just...
back. She is now looking at what she can do with her attunements and everything to plan like a beautiful attack. Definitely, that's what I'm feeling from her.
1 shot, 1 hit KO.
So my problem is I went to open up my thing and it like I can't find my guy on my Google Drive, the thing for my character, so I was just quickly recreating it.
Gotcha.
But so I'm sorry, I've been only half listening to people once I realized this was a
All
problem.
right. Well, you gotta make a new character anyway. We already killed Polaris.
Oh, well, okay, well that makes this easy then.
Oh darn. I guess Rio can go home now.
Fine.
Then Josh, why don't you popcorn somebody?
Kristen, because she's not ready.
Okay,
Nice.
so in the last 20 seconds, what happened?
So we're attacking this big thing that's attacking like part of the castle. He's a really big monster. It's called this breaker, and I'm distracting it while Rio is attacking his legs.
That's Rio, yeah.
That's Rio!
That's really,
And I'm like,
Okay,
That's great.
sorry, I should know. You two are smaller in Oreo's eyes. Let's blame Oreo. She's really bad with.
Is
So
it because we're Asian?
do we know? Are we
because
confirmed?
Oreo's
does
8
it have
feet.
I have 8 feet. Sorry.
Oreo's attention? Does it have Oreo's attention?
It does
Oreo
right
have
now.
his attention?
It does. Oreo is darting
Fuck.
around right now, sort of trying to.
She ran
maybe
interference
evade.
for me to go to strike at it. Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
kind of
So like, I was assisting him.
just flopping around like a fish. That's not.
Much more cooler. This is Michaela. Michaela would die in a battle. I am bad.
She's like dancing out of the way.
Also-
Like...
An important distinction between setup actions and just helping. When you help, now it didn't apply this time. When you help, when you assist somebody, not do a setup action, If there are consequences, like say the consequence instead is you get hit, Josh, everybody who helped also has to suffer that consequence.
Oh,
So
shit,
or it would also get
What if I resist and fail?
if you resist, well, there's no failing or resistance roll. It's just a matter of how much wear you get.
So if I resist a consequence, it's just
Then,
me.
then Michaela would also have to resist the consequence. They're both separate ones of you both getting hit.
Okay, that sucks.
So that's the danger. That's the danger in it. But it's still, for one wear getting a bonus die, you're not going to find a better deal.
How many wear are we allowed to have?
Oh yes.
Once you hit 10 wear, you suffer a tear.
Yeah.
Ask Kristen about them. She knows all about this.
How many tears?
Kelder just got a second one. Is 2/3 possessed by an evil god.
Yep.
Evil is a strong word.
He is a man of strange interests and goals in life.
So
you get 3, but I will tell you right now, when you get to 2, I'll probably give you an option to get an extra one, so you could get 4.
What's the
But
cost?
there'll be a cost associated.
Devil's bargain? Is that what that is? Yeah.
It'll be yeah.
Dick.
Uh,
So if you get to 10, where does it reset after you get a tear?
Yep. Even if you
Okay,
so
so
you're at
it's
9,
like
and then you
Lancer,
go to
you're going through your whole
15,
points. Yeah.
There's
okay.
no carryover either. If you go to 9 to 15, it just resets to 0.
Stops it.
Also, getting a tear is like a traumatic event for your character. They'll probably be removed from the scene or unable to.
Oh shit! So that's like
Like getting knocked out.
getting knocked out or cut off or something. Yeah.
The odds of you losing your character to them dying in this system, very low. You'll pretty much decide if that happens by just not resisting damage. The way you lose your character is they get really fucked up and then eventually are no longer fit to be PCs, and I get them.
Fun.
Fun.
I'm scared. No, not at all.
Then they are possessed by an evil god. God.
Polaris.
So for mine, I am also going to be part of the distract team because I feel like that makes sense. So as it's going for Oreo, I am also going to be like blasting some music so I get its attention, and then running away or swimming away, and then blasting more music, and then.
What music are you playing?
I've got a badass electrical tier.
Oh, well, if you're electrical and it's you guys are underwater right now.
So it's double hurt.
So you're double hurt.
I told you not to turn the amp on underwater.
I feel like my lyre is the thing that would play underwater, so I can't flute it. That'd be.
No, you guys are magically underwater. So
well, if I flute it, then it's gonna be also flute it sounds like a dirty term. If I'm playing the flute, it's gonna take a lot of energy and
Kristen.
Kristen,
each bubble comes out for each note.
Yes, and it's just like a spread of bubbles.
They like pop, and it's like that's the music.
There we go, and it gives me time to run. Genius, doing it.
So, are you what mechanical effect do you want to set somebody up? Here is this a setup action?
Yes. No. Shit.
What do you want out of this? I know what you're doing, but we know the fluff, but what is the mechanical effect?
Yeah, mechanical.
You can make bubbles to block its view with the distraction of music, and then something can poke his eyes out.
It's got like 50 eyes on it too, by the way. Just
I think
everything I
blow 50 bubbles.
All of the things have countless eyes and mouths on them.
Wow.
I think I'm helping set up Rio, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm not.
All right.
Set me up.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll say especially if it's like a distracting thing, and this will be kind of like DM's bullshit. Like if you're distracting it, it will also apply to like Church and Rio. I think if it's.
And you can roll physical die if you want.
What's that?
We're allowed to roll physical die. Right? Tom said we could.
Oh yeah. If you wanna, it seems to be working very well for everybody.
For now.
I enjoy using my dice I never get to use.
Feel free to choose which D6s you want.
Oh, so you're not encouraging rolling all night?
If you want to.
Everybody.
If you want to roll on it, you can. But if you don't
no,
want
I totally
to,
want to cheat. Let's do this.
Show you.
No, Michaela, every time she rolls, makes a surprised face and then shows the dice to the camera. You don't have to do that. But I think also because Michaela isn't used to rolling sixes.
I'm not used to
So she
this
really
new
wants to
me.
show off brag.
For now, until it's still happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to borrow. And so okay, you're not one of those who say don't touch my dice.
Oh, touch my. I mean, go for it.
Touch my dice.
This is a
Well,
different
okay,
kind of stream.
I would
So
like
you
to make
reach
an
into
argument
Michaela's
that this is
dice bag.
this distraction is going to be a weave check, considering I'm like a siren-like character.
Yeah.
Man, they
It's
are
like a magical
really
thing.
close friends. Very close friends.
Get your hand out of my dice bag.
So, hold on.
Because you're not just prancing around playing music, you're prancing around playing magical music.
Hell yeah.
Okay, give me two. Can you?
Pulls out through the fire and flames or
Wait,
something.
where am I rolling? I thought I was going to roll in
It's
here.
still here.
Okay, why are you lifting it up so high?
I'm showing that you're not cheating.
Like Jade
Man.
dice.
I
I
found
don't have-
Shit!
Haha.
Yeah.
What? What'd you get?
5 and a 6, bitches. Almost a crit.
I wish I could roll good at this game.
Suddenly I'm gonna roll amazing.
Yep, I'll never-
D6K.
I'll never forget you not rolling a higher than a 3 for like 25 consecutive.
I think that's gonna be this again.
That's just a record, dude. That's just like.
Hey,
Alright,
we
buddy,
did
we
crit
got you.
out at the last roll of the entire campaign,
Yep.
so
There you go.
All
I
right,
did.
all right, Ed. You got a setup for you. You're gonna get +1 die or +1 effect.
Wait,
on
this was a
thing.
setup for Rio.
It's for both of you.
both of you. He said it would apply to both.
It makes sense
Oh.
if it's like one. I think it makes sense if you're setting up and it's just like one creature here, right?
Yeah.
Distracting him would affect everybody.
So yeah, she's
It's
yeah.
very much a narrative decides the mechanics kind of game.
Yeah, I think it opens
that
up to like
sense.
a weak point that I can actually get a shot in on. I feel. Like.
Also, if you want to call on Tatsuo also firing with you, I'll give
Hell
you another
yeah.
one.
I'll
give
take
you
3.
another one.
I'll take
Alright.
3.
Do you wanna? Do you want any of those to be effect increases? Or-
That would be cool. Well,
So
oh wait, no. I think I want
think
3
about-
dice. I need
Yeah, I was
dice.
gonna say you gotta give up one dice.
I need dice in this game. If I roll under a 3 with these 3 dice, we know I'm going for the next big streak. All right.
We can play a different game. We can play.
No, it's okay. I love the
We
pain.
switch it immediately.
I love the pain.
Yep, back to 5.
It's a 5. I have 5.
Okay,
2
alright,
5s and
alright.
a 3.
Pretty good.
Yeah, as you all descend upon, I think the Tritons too are getting involved with trying to like, almost like a wolf pack, take this thing down. So you succeed at limited effect. So he gets one tick on him,
1 tick.
and then as the consequence, I'm gonna do 3 more ticks on the Triton forces as they're just like getting battered back. by this-
Consequence.
Yeah, I'm not really
You
helping
rolled a
them.
5.
Yep.
Still consequence. 4 and
Oh,
5 is
there
a
is a
success with a
consequence.
consequence.
On everything but a 6.
About a 6.
My God. Okay.
Yeah.
4
1,
to
2,
5
3
just means
fails.
you also succeed.
Yeah.
It's
3 on the Triton forces.
3
Yep,
because this is
3.
this is a desperate roll. This is a big boy. You can
Yes.
anybody can resist this if you want.
I'll
It's
try to
all-
resist it. What can I resist it with? Any stat?
How are you stopping this thing from lashing out at as you're assailing it?
Wit for sure. I think I'm trying to like shoot at weak points and just like whatever because this thing's so
yeah.
like weird. Like I'm looking for joints similar to how Tatsuo is looking for its back. Like the minute anything forms within it, I'm taking the opportunity to shoot at a point that seems critical to its movement.
Gotcha. As a general rule for resistance, I usually just do whatever the parent attribute is of the action. So if you're rolling like
Wit.
engage, it's probably gonna be great. If you're rolling like
Yeah, this is
finesse, it's
finesse.
probably gonna be it's probably gonna be wit.
I'm using my brains to shoot the weak points. That's 3.
Yeah.
So 3
Yep,
dice.
So you roll 3d6.
Shoot those
Now,
brains.
And also, here's the weird thing: you can also push yourself on a resistance roll.
I wanna.
So you take 2 wear to roll to potentially take less wear.
less
You
wear.
really only want to do it if you have like 0 dice, maybe.
I'll just do these 3 bad boys right here.
6,
Ooh, a 4.
a 4. All right, add
Yeah, I'll
2
take
more
2.
wear.
Yeah.
2 more wear. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I'll take it.
That's
Out of
fine.
10.
I
Out of
won't-
10. Your 10 clock.
I'm 6 out of 10.
As this thing is putting up a pretty big fight all by itself. As it's lashing out at you guys. It's also beating down still on this thing, trying to almost collapse this whole dome down onto the city.
Jesus.
Rio, we come around to you, chopping at it, swirling around, chopping where you can, dodging errant blows from this thing. What do you do? Do you all still sit here? Because the longer you fight this thing, the less time you'll have.
Put some real
help
damage
the
on it
king.
though. See, if this thing goes through, it's gonna hurt everybody in that dome.
I'm gonna give it one. We'll give it one more try. See how it goes. I'll like follow Church's tracers or something, and see if I can hit some of the weak points.
Yeah,
this
my
time.
shot's gotta leave behind some like cut in the water. Like you gotta be able to see the trail.
Yeah, there's like a glowing tracer
yeah,
or something.
it probably they leave like a sizzle
Yeah.
through the water.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's distracted still by Oreo.
So 2 dice because I'm gonna use engage. Engage.
And if you ever want to change as you play it, you're like, oh, I find I actually use this action a lot, and I don't use this one. If you can just do whatever you want. So if you're like, I actually engage everything, I don't need this point in
Sorry,
like jacket.
I'll engage. I'll get two die on that. Yeah,
Do that.
works for me.
My general recommendation for character creation in this is put 1 point in everything, but the main thing you think you're gonna do the most, put 2 points in.
I need to move my
Okay.
points around. Persevere is not what I would put.
I may need to move like 1, but I like where the other ones are.
I'm gonna just put my last point into, I want 2 in finesse.
Make sure you adjust your attributes then too as
Right,
you change the points.
You're right. Thank you.
But if you're just taking 1 out of persevere and 1 in finesse, then it shouldn't change it actually.
It does, because I didn't have as much. It's fine.
Okay. So go ahead. So you got 2d6. It is limited effect, desperate
We only got one
situation.
for now. But if we leave it, it might break and well working.
3. The new and improved. Real. Opened up that character creator. Oh, you rolled a 3? Is that what you're saying?
I rolled a 3.
All right.
Oh, but hold
Now,
up.
listen. If you're gonna change any dice, it has to be done before the dice is rolled, unless you have a certain ability that lets you.
Bring out the best, and I got 1 drive, so let's use that here to get this goddamn clock going. So you
What
may
is
assist a
bring out
teammate
the
after
best?
they rolled. You do not get yourself involved in any consequence. So roll another die.
So
Well,
you're spending a drive. How are you spending a drive point to do it? What is your
I thought this
core
was
ability?
a drive point to do this.
Nope. Just to assist is
Oh.
one wear.
She's using her core ability.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is your core ability?
It's my general ability. Bring out the best.
Oh, it's
I know. I'm asking what your core ability is.
Oh, my core ability is subterfuge.
Okay, so that means you can spend drive to resist the consequence from suspicion, persuasion.
Wait, what do
or-
I do to bring out the best?
Bring out the best is just lets you assist somebody after they've rolled, and
So I can
also
roll
doesn't get you
all the time?
involved. So yeah, you can assist. Assist costs you 1 wear to assist somebody.
1 wear. Oh yeah, that was
And
it. I
that-
thought it was spend a drive. Okay, it's 1
Yep,
wear.
and that gives you. If you had a drive that let you like help teammates, if you had a core ability, then you could
Yeah,
also.
no, I get it.
So
Okay.
at the cost of
Do it.
1 wear, Rio, you can roll 1 more d6.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
This
Done.
is your
Let's
bardic
do it.
inspiration
Hope
shit.
it's not wasted.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a 6.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
I was
Fuck
gonna
yeah!
do
I got 1 wear for a 6.
Since it's desperate, it's a 3 ticker. I was gonna do 3 ticks on King Aldruin there, but
Nice.
I like to think that as my flute is doing the bubbles, which are like bursting around the thing's head, and it's like, what? One of them pops up and was like, Rio, what the fuck? And Rio's like, God damn it, and he has to go again.
so that's another one. This thing is slow going. I think Sardine, as he sees you doing this, he's sending some of the Triton forces off to go into the city
Mhm.
proper because there's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
I think he gives the nod to Yod. He gives the Yod to Yod.
The Yod nod.
The Yod nod
Yod nod.
to his sister. And so I forgot Yod was still with the group here. I should have
Yeah.
been giving Yod free assists too. But
Sure.
what does Yod do on her way out?
Yad would her,
Oh my god.
she I don't know. She will do a bubble wave and get out of it with a bang. I don't know. I don't have a character sheet for her for this thing. Okay, she will, because she is a.
She can give a free assist out before she goes. If you
That's
want.
what she's gonna do. She knows what she's doing.
Leaves a dab bubble behind.
She will assist. I don't know. She would assist a group that's trying to maybe get into assist her team that doesn't die. So let's say clearing them a path. I don't know. She's assisting us, but then I'm like, okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure out narratively.
You good?
I gotcha.
She uses a net, and she covers the net. And she uses a net. I don't know. She always talked about nets, so I want her to use a net this time.
Alright. Throwing that on this like 3-story thing. Is
I
just,
Right in it.
three-story thing.
I'm gonna leave.
it's on it. It's on it.
It's
Every,
just
it
like a
eventually
challenge.
just kind of falls off, but like.
Good luck.
Oh my god.
So you see Yod wrap up one of these like limbs that have jutted out of it in a net and like ties it
Of course,
with a bow.
Yep.
It's still flipping around and beating people in the head. Like,
Oh.
Yod hasn't let go of the net though, so it's also flinging Yod around like rational.
And that's how Yod leaves to go in the city. Is gets just lets go and launched.
You know, that would happen. That's why I'm not the leader in the family. I help. I was
So
already.
Oreo, are you
Yeah.
continuing? Are you continuing to
No.
distract this thing?
Well, we're all distracted now. Blair is assisting with her bubbles, so I wanted to maybe being able to now when it's distracted, get maybe closer to it to be able to just like hit it in, try to hit it in like the head if there's like some kind of connection with the head, like just try to like almost like get on the neck and just
Yeah, I
find
think
something.
basically there's like a big mass in the center, and then there's just kind of shit coming out of it.
Yep.
So you deduce that the central nervous system,
Yeah.
whatever its home base is likely in that core mass.
Okay, so with that, I would like to use maybe one of my new paladin weeby powers to maybe. I don't think I can touch it. At least I don't think it's wise. to
weeby
touch it.
powers?
Weeby, that's the weave. It's weaving. Wait,
All right,
Weave,
so you put your,
okay.
you put your
What am I
magic
saying,
weave
weeb?
in.
I thought she said weeb. I also thought there was a B at the end of that. I was like, oh, I'm insulted.
Magic weave powers. I have a sailor.
I'm
weave.
literally a
I
weeb in the
am
water
on
right
my
now. I
side.
have a samurai sword. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Okay.
Yeah, look at my dumbass weave show over here.
I'm gonna do my weeb shit real quick.
I don't know.
I
I'm
want to
gonna
use
try.
fedora.
Oh,
I tip at the beast,
Milady.
Go,
I'm Milady the Beast.
And I'm just gonna try.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm going to use my energy, this superior energy to get like almost like because I am connected to the primordial sea, so I would imagine that maybe I can like create this like almost like with the water around me, some kind of like almost like a icicle type of spear thingy, and just try to hit it in the middle as hard as I can.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
You got that cold Goliath life bringing down as
Yeah.
the water around your arm just fuses into this lance.
And try to
as
hit
you-
it.
as you- yeah, give me like a weave roll.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And you know what? I'll give you a bonus die. Or no, I'm gonna give you increased effect because it's like you're saying, you're surrounded by water and you're turning like in your primordial sea attuned.
Yeah.
Very much your
For everyone watching at home, that's weave with a V.
I can't help but hear weeb now, even when
My weave powers.
Please make a weeb roll.
Looks like you've only watched 300 episodes of Naruto. Not weeb enough.
I missed the
Okay.
others.
Okay. Okay.
You'll
I'm
have
trying
to
do
wait till
this.
the others come on Toonami or whatever.
Toonami, this dude hasn't watched anime since the 90s.
I watched Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing. They were back to back, 5 and 5:30 on Toonami.
You gotta wait for Naruto to come out of Toonami, man. It's alright.
For Inuyasha and the Adult Swim.
Yeah, that one. That one.
Okay. So I'm rolling. Fuck. Oh, shit.
One.
What'd you get there? A 1?
Oh no.
Ooh. Does anybody want to help you out?
Yep.
Well, only one person can help you after the fact, and that's Kristen.
Polaris?
Polaris.
I forgot it was Blair, and now it's got more consequences. Yeah, sure. You know what?
All
I'm
right.
not gonna roll poorly. Go ahead.
Kristen, this is also how you, if you never want to roll, you can just end up spending all of your wear on assisting other people. This is...
Only time.
So I'm rolling again?
Go.
Okay.
Another die. One dice. One die.
Don't fuck it up. She fucked it up.
She got a 1.
I'm not giving you any more.
One again.
No.
All right, mark a fail on your drive. Remember, every 3 fails turns into 1 drive point.
Okay, where's my There it is.
Oh my god.
So your consequence here. Now, luckily, Kristen doesn't get involved with the
Yep.
failure. So I am gonna give you level 3 harm. if you'd
Okay,
like it, as it
I have a-
smacks into you.
I have a question about that because I
Oh.
have Battleborn, you expend a drive to restore harm. How does that work? And also, Iron Will, no.
So now we'll get into, because this is where I give the damage tutorial, how we give
Yes.
this for Josh and Ed. So the way damage works is if you look on your thing, there should be maybe a little pyramid for your little harm tracker.
Yep.
If you ever suffer level 4 harm, you die. If you suffer level 3 harm, you are not really functional. That's where you kind of need somebody to help you walk kind of shit. Level 2 harm, you have less effect to most things you do, and level 1 harm, you have -1 die. You only suffer these consequences if all of the ones in the row are filled. So if you fill the whole row, if you fill each box with a level 1 harm on the level 1 track,
Okay.
that's when you suffer those.
So if you take 3 harm, it's 3 ones.
If I am assigning you level 3 harm, that
You
means
must
you're
take-
starting at level 3.
Ouch.
Now, we'll get to reducing that. Also, say you had all of your level 1s filled and you took level 1 harm. Instead, you take level 2 harm. It goes up. It goes up.
So all of her boxes are full right now.
No. So we just fill the level. You don't.
Yeah, it
have
doesn't
to fill
go
all the way up.
Okay.
So we just have the.
I
three.
thought
So
it was from bottom to top. As you, yeah. I was like, "Fuck, you just."
It's different
fucking
tiers of
killed her,
harm.
dude.
Yeah.
What the
So level 3
because-
is not going to sound as bad as you think.
No.
So the first thing you can do when you suffer harm, you can resist it.
Yep.
As we've been doing otherwise. Although resisting harm against yourself is a little different. Whenever you resist harm, it doesn't just make it no harm. All of the harm goes down 1 level.
Yep.
So if Michaela wants to resist it, she can resist it from level 3. It now becomes level 2 harm.
So I have a. Sorry.
Yep. No,
So
I think I know what you're gonna ask about your core ability, right?
Yeah, that's because I have 2 options for that, I think. Because I have my general ability, which is tough as nails. Penalties from harm are 1 level less severe.
Yes.
And then I have my Battleborn, which is you may expend a drive to reduce harm from an attack in combat or to push yourself during a fight.
So what the 1 less severe means is, say Michaela's penalty for having max level 1 harm is actually nothing. Her penalty for having maxed level 2 harm is equal to the penalty for having max level 1 harm. Pretty much everything gets shifted for that ability. So if she suffers her level 3 harm, she will never suffer the penalties for level 3 harm. If she suffers level 4 harm, she still dies though.
Yep.
So if I ever tell you suffer level 4 harm, if you don't resist it, you just die. So now your core ability, you can expend a drive point, if you have one, to reduce the harm. Normally you have to make a resistance roll. This is like the grit, like roll your resistance you suffer wear. Alternatively, you can just spend a drive point. You don't have to roll anything at all, just like boom. Spend it, it moves down automatically to 2. The second way you can reduce this is by using armor. Armor is doable if you got like heavy armor or light armor on you or whatever.
I do have heavy, and I also have
can-
forever armor light because I have the.
Oh, because you have that ability.
Yeah.
I don't think so. That ability is a forever tier 1 armor.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to use your heavy armor to resist this.
I'll
the light
use the
armor.
heavy armor.
So the heavy armor has 3 uses on it.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, once you run out of armor, your armor is just beaten up and it's not worthwhile. The armor reduces it down to level 1 harm.
Okay.
So after all of that, you suffer level 1 harm instead of level 3 harm.
Okay, so I'll put that in level 1, and I'll
And-
take down my heavy thing. Okay.
You don't suffer any consequences for accumulating all the level 1 harms.
Yeah.
Armor always takes any level of harm as 1. That's it.
Yes, it just
Okay.
removes it by 1. Light armor takes up only has one use. Heavy armor has 3 uses on it.
Yeah, it does. That's what I
Bring
got.
this dice and the freaking garbage pile. Okay.
It just smashes you like right in the chest. You can see a big dent in like your little nail. It's like in like right around your right in your belly.
Yep.
Yeah, we see the bubbles.
Anime.
Ugh.
It's not blood, kids. It's spit. Okay.
But I feel sorry for you for that, Michaela. So I'm gonna give you another go. What do you want to
Okay.
do? We see you get knocked in the chest. You breathe in deeply, instinctively to catch yourself. Breathe in some water.
Mhm. I would still hope that thing is still working, so I'll just try to push through it and just try to press it in.
Yeah, I think you went at it with the spear and it like knocked you back. So you like your spear slowly like floating in the water away. You grab back onto it and you go in.
And traced. Is it now? Can I now call it as almost like how do you say engage? Because I'm holding the thing and I can now maybe just like try to like attack it physically. Okay. So 2 dice for that. Hopefully something good will happen out of this shit.
Do you want now before you roll? Do you want to accept the devil's bargain? Do you want to push yourself, or does anybody want to help you?
Not yet.
All right.
At least for now. Until I start rolling like ones constantly, then maybe we shall see. Okay. 2s, above our 2s. Like.
All right.
Wow.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we get like almost like the Superman knocked back and then like go back in as it just swats you out of the air.
Yep.
Again. Not too hard though, as I'm putting 3 ticks on the King Aldrin clock.
Oh my god.
Because it's desperate.
Okay. How much can I resist? I have like 5 in my way.
As this is just you guys are spending time fighting this siege breaker instead of getting in there.
Okay, let's get in there, guys. I cannot roll for she.
Do you wanna? I mean, remember the clock doesn't mean anything unless it's all the way filled.
I know.
Now, with 2 ticks left, any failed risky roll.
Yep.
I could assign 2 ticks to that clock.
You can resist it though.
You could resist it though.
Mhm.
If you really want to.
I only have 2 wears, so I mean we can still resist a bunch of it, but yeah, we're gonna have to break away at this point.
I would just say, it is slippery!
Yeah, you are touching ice underwater. That's hard to hold on.
Not a good idea!
You get like a firm grasp on it and it's like.
Dang it!
You just kind of like grab it, and you just go like shaking it back and forth, right? And you're just like really like.
I'll kill you.
You're so stupid.
Remember what happened to the last DM that did all that shit on stream?
Very different.
True.
Also, we're not on stream.
Oh, we're not. Nice.
Recording, yeah.
Oh, well, so it's
You're
still embedded on
bullshitting
someone's
me,
hard
edited
drive.
So if anybody does some shit, I'm gonna go into this video and fix it. So, but don't.
As
if you make me
as
do that, I'm
Tom
not gonna be
reaches up-
happy.
Tom reaches up and he's going like this, and all this.
Oh,
Because
well,
he's
Listen,
just
I don't think
talking,
I don't think a blowjob joke is too risky.
no,
I'm
it's
like,
not.
if that's too risky. If that's too risky, you might want to take me off air.
There's a level for Tom, yeah. That
so,
did not beat it.
I'm so offended
How dare you?
right now.
So what's the game plan, team?
Gotta break off.
Don't use ice! Don't use ice! Good advice!
You've wounded it. It doesn't look like it's as hell bent on destroying this whole thing so far, but
I can
Maybe it
try
wants
to
to be
lead
friendly.
it away.
We should still go in. We need to help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still fire in the thing.
You would,
If I'm at a distance, I'm gonna still try to hurt it.
Yeah, if he's still, I mean,
Like,
he can.
I'm not engaged.
We can
You
try
can
to
you
go,
can peg it from a ways while we
go in,
go in
try to-
and try to
Yeah.
help out.
Oh, yeah.
Sardine, yeah.
Do you want me to stay with you, Church, so that way you're not alone?
No. Leave me alone. I want to take a devil's bargain. I know what it's gonna be if I'm alone, versus not knowing what it'll be if you're there.
fine.
All right. So do we get like is there a dialogue that happens in character, or does
Metagame.
everybody start to just head off and Church stays behind?
Church is
Church,
at such
you
a
good?
distance. I don't know that he can communicate. I think he's reacting to what they're doing versus taking orders.
Send signals?
You know, I
So
mean,
we
you just
will-
do stuff, and he can react.
I mean, you guys can still talk underwater. It's magic. We're
In my
magic.
head, I'm very far away. It'd be a shot.
Well, I think just I mean after Rio and Oreo have been trying to break into this thing, just realizing it's not working, probably
Nope.
would just
yeah, like
pull
I've got
off.
eyes on the fight. I think I see what's happening. I don't
Yeah.
even know if anything needs to be signaled to me.
I think
It
Rio would
is-
pull off for sure, realizing that we're not getting through this. We don't have time now.
Nope. We tried our best. What it
And
is as much.
start swimming. Yeah, start swimming down into
Yeah.
the thing to assist with the escape for sure.
All right. You guys swim in and head right towards. I mean, pretty easy to see the big castle itself. Towers among the rest of the buildings that scatter the seafloor. Big, sort of ornate, lots of like marble, I think, or I don't know, whatever underwater marble.
Coral.
Oh yeah, lots of
Underwater
Corals.
marble.
things on there. It's
Yeah.
underwater marble. And head towards. So most of it looks all sealed off completely, like almost like there are no windows you can see that pierce through. I think anything that was there has been covered completely.
Mhm.
With a light magic hue emanating from the whole building itself, except for one sort of puncture in the whole, sort of almost by the main door, but it's clear they just broke through the magic barrier there. You see little tendrils of magic around maybe like a 5-foot radius hole,
Mhm.
where little tendrils of magic like sparking almost like a downed like a live wire
Mhm.
that's been cut. But as you head that way, Church, you see your companions leave. You see this beast still alive. They've given up on the hunt. What do you do?
We love you.
I fire into it. I want to keep it from advancing.
Yeah, I think as they leave, it starts to like move towards, and we see the first shot from Church go down. You mentioned earlier you're interested in a Devil's Bargain.
I'm interested in Devil's Bargain. I have 2 dice. Can Tatsuo help me, or is he gone?
That's a good question. What's Tatsuo doing? Is Tatsuo staying with Church?
No.
No.
He's gonna follow his brother. He doesn't care about this metal man.
Tin Man.
Then no.
Then no.
Can't help.
No, I didn't think so. I'll push myself.
You release all the fishes that you caught.
You don't want a Devil's Bargain?
I can't do both.
No.
You can only do one.
Yeah.
Devil's Bargain. What is it?
Oh, I thought you said you had something in mind.
Something. No, not something in mind. I mean, I just know what's obvious. If I'm alone, I attract the creature. But if Polaris is with me, I have no idea what happens. So, like, that's the obvious. It makes more sense to me, and I'd rather know it than not know it.
Devil's Bargain is definitely, regardless of the role, it will be coming after you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Always.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
oh,
not
yeah.
gonna leave you alone.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
people
that. I
turn
think
on
that
you.
works. What do I get for Devil's Bargain? Extra die or
Extra die or extra effect?
extra die or extra effect? I'm gonna take an extra effect.
Yeah.
Now
Get a
you
good
go
shot
from
on
limited to standard effect.
Roll better than me.
Okay.
Please.
I only got 2, so here we go. Ha!
I'll roll a 6 eventually.
It's a
Hey.
six.
You got a 6 and a 4, yeah!
Oh my gosh.
Heck yeah.
Hell
So
yes.
you inflict two wounds on this.
Yay.
Unless you
regardless,
want to
it's
resist the
okay.
damage you did to it, instead it damages it.
Stop that.
Church.
Oh
my God.
You got the where.
So you blast into like the center mass of this thing. I think we even see like is it like an electrical blast? Is it like a firearm blast?
It's my element that I am imbued with from one of my abilities, my ancestral ability, primal infused. It is fire.
All right. Yeah. So we see like just this cloud of smoke just like blast in on this or bellow out from it. As through that smoke, we see one of like these hexagonal plates that make up this dome fling out through the smoke towards you, Church. But you quickly get out of the way to the side.
Transform.
Yeah, you
I'm moving this
transform
water.
into a jet, and you
I'm moving this water like a General Grievous machine.
All right. Rest of the party, you make your way down. You've seen the Tritons. I think you see Yod in the background engaging some errant forces.
Nets here.
But
Nets there.
as you sort of
Go here.
Nets.
I like Nets with this one. She'll keep
Um,
the net.
as you make your way to the sort of like almost like this puncture hole in this side of this castle, you see just lots of this blackish goop sort of left all around. As you enter this main hall of the castle, it looks like there are some beasts almost like wrapped around and just munching and just consuming these incredibly pale Tritons. They look like they've had any heat just like sucked out of them. And Rio, especially being in such close quarters with a lot of these, they are icy to the touch.
Oh wow. Okay.
My people, we are icy too.
You see that? You see. So Captain Sardine is with you. He will take point to escort you to the where he assumes the king is held up.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But there is a small retinue in front of you of these little beasts. These ones not nearly as big. These ones maybe a 3 feet or so in length. Almost like giant piranhas.
So they're between us and where we're trying to go.
Yep. They're just kind of like they're coalescing sometimes out of like some of this goop. Every now and then you see one sort of like emerge out.
Like in Dishonored, you go to the mosquito septic quickly and it just goes at you from that little spot. Sorry, Dishonored. It's fine.
What do you guys do? It looks like some of these are sort of like coming out of the walls, out of all this goop left behind itself.
Okay.
I can still try to do my weave stuff, but it hasn't worked at all. I can just punch them really hard.
If you want to just push through, you can all do a group action if you want.
I think we should try to push through. We don't have time.
Let's push
I
through.
mean, we could fight these guys, but
quickly.
Before we push through, I want to do like a sound wave kind of thing. So that way it kind of like stuns these guys and gives anyone pushing.
Make a weave roll for me, it sounds like. There's a setup action.
Yep, a weave.
Weave.
A weave roll.
weep shit. Yeah.
I'm changing that action.
4.
A 4. So that is a success. So everybody will get +1 die. And as a consequence, I am going to push the Triton forces for 2.
Resist.
2? You
For 2.
Oh, 2's not bad.
They got a lot of ticks in the
They
car.
do.
They're still good. The Tritons are still okay.
Horses are okay.
But you
We're...
can
We're
take
worried
it
about
at
the
2.
king. We're worried about the king and I messed
Yeah.
up.
The reason they have so many ticks is you guys did not lose a single one in that other fight.
No! Sacrifice sometimes works. Sometimes. Yes.
As they are all stunned. As now you guys are gonna break through. As this is what's the sound? What is the sound wave? Because I picture just a fucking.
That is
Something
exactly
huge.
sound wave. I have my
Just
my
brown noise.
ear, so it what is that? What it's called? The one that looks like a little mini harp.
Lear, that should be.
Yeah, that's the lyre, right? I want to just like do one of those rock and roll like ding on it, and it utters at a lower frequency than the short strings would denote.
A G button.
Gotcha. So if you're all together pushing through, I would recommend what's called a group action.
Okay.
You all decide one action. You want to all roll.
Huh.
One of you has to declare yourself the leader here. The leader, all that means is you will suffer one wear for every person who fails.
I got it. I've only got 2 wear.
Okay, you do it.
Okay. The thing to get through, I feel like stop.
I volunteer as tribute.
Does finesse makes sense, I guess, if we're trying to dodge around.
Or exert. Wait, that's quicker. Wait.
Or
Exert
like
definitely is just
exerting,
like,
you're like pushing your muscling through,
Exert makes a
maybe.
lot of
yeah,
sense.
you're heavy
Yeah, exert
swimming,
makes sense,
right? You're
yeah.
just
Unless you think finesse is better, but
It's how
You
you're
all-
I
doing
feel like
it.
it depends
all
on
roll
how
this.
we're going, but as a group, I feel like exert does make more
yeah,
sense.
we're like
even though that's
pushing,
bad
we're
for me.
pushing through the crowd
and
of
you
them. Yeah.
all get +1 die.
Okay.
God.
No,
Okay.
get at least 2.
Ooh, that's group action's so good. I remember when we realized that they were better.
So we
Just record all.
we roll
Mhm.
our normal roll, right, and then the +1 because
Plus-
of.
Because I can do 2.
Yep.
The group.
And then
Okay.
you all benefit from the highest roll amongst the three of you.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Oh shit!
You go first
Nice.
and I'm just
We
right
should be
all
grouping?
also suffer. You all also suffer the consequences.
I mean, I suffer the consequences.
Well, you suffer
Okay.
where? If you say the 5 is the highest, you
I
all
got a
suffer
5.
the consequence of a 5.
Oh.
But you also suffer where for every failure. So that's only if a failure is 3 or under. So if nobody gets a 3 or under, you don't suffer.
Okay. Nowhere.
I got a 1.
I got a 5.
5.
All right. So one person failed. So Rio, you get 1.
Yep. I'm at 3 wear.
That's the
I'm
only
good.
dangerous thing if the, if the group
I'm
fails.
at 3 wear. That's good.
I think it's
We're
very
getting rid of this one
clear
too?
that
Let's have a little like time.
it's very clear
Is
that
there a timeout pile?
Polaris is lagging behind here a little bit, right?
Mhm.
And I think there's a swarm of these little piranha-like things that are gonna lash out at her.
I don't know how
But we see Augusto Sardine, as he promised, insert himself between Polaris and the threat,
Yeah.
and he gets bit up a little bit. I'm gonna do 2 on Augusto.
Augusta!
That's okay. He's doing all right. He hasn't had any yet.
He's
There-
fine.
there it
Yeah.
is.
We don't need to resist any of that yet.
He's a hero. He's great. That's my
Cut-
bro.
We cut back. Church.
Oh, no.
Blasted into this thing.
Okay.
The smoke kind of clears and rises up through the water. You see it sort of on all, I don't know, maybe like 16 limbs right now.
Oh,
it's
great.
all, as we see it, it's like braced and it's about to just lunge off of this thing at you. What do you do?
What do? I fucking fire into it as it comes out. I just let a shot out right at it.
Yeah, so we get the
I don't
mid
care if
shot,
it like
we get
surrounds
you.
me. Yeah.
So this is not controlled for you. This is desperate.
Okay, desperate.
as
What does
you
that
have
affect
it.
mechanically?
That means so controlled means when I'm ticking clocks. If I do use clocks as a consequence, I do 1
That's
tick.
just not something.
So that'd be like you
It's
take
good,
level
like,
1 harm,
Yeah.
or I take 1 tick on the Triton forces.
Roger.
Risky is 2.
2, and
and
then I'm in
desperate
a
is 3.
desperate 3. So I will be very, very ouchy if this goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Desperate makes sense. Okay. I am going to. I think. Jesus. What's my devil's bargain?
Devil's
Oh
bargain.
no!
Just tell me what it is. I'm allowed to know what it is.
Now, does anybody have a good idea for a devil's bargain? Because outsourcing devil's bargains is a great thing. I even like it if Ed could come up with his own.
I mean, in this situation, I'm consumed by the darkness. Like,
Ooh.
I don't know, that
You
seems
go berserk
very.
almost.
What does that
Like,
mean?
Berserk, like you forget and you just go into like this fighter killer mode for a few seconds. Or
I
you're
think I
pulled
take a
away
terror and I'm
after-
put out.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's too much.
Oh my
taking a terror
God.
for a devil's bargain is a very it's very, very dangerous.
I mean, he can win, though? If he takes a tear.
I mean, well, the thing is, the outcome of the devil's bargain is the same
it
as
too
just
rough?
pushing yourself
Yeah.
for
it's
2
too-
wear. So
Why you could probably after the fight, it could start a clock where after the fight you're not gonna enter because you hear the call too much. So you'll actually head the opposite direction if the clock fills. So it's like starting a negative countdown for you.
you're
Oh.
saying to
The-
the call that's coming in.
Yeah.
I like that idea. It just feels foreign to the situation. That's my only thing. I like
Well,
I like
It usually
involving
only
the
happens
call.
at night.
Yeah, I like involving the call,
does.
but I want to
Okay.
involve the devil's bargain with the situation I'm in.
Okay, because this
Well-
would be like this is just like the strain of it. It's like we even see like some circuitry or something, or like
Well, you
snap
could
out.
Yeah.
you could
Is it-
push yourself too, Ed, and just take the 2 wear. Do you still have wear left?
I'm at 5. I don't know that I want to take the wear and get even higher up.
Is it? I think I would think that you like your.
I'm at 6 wear.
Yeah,
Oh, ugh. I didn't realize that high.
What are you saying,
You're
Michaela?
worried about getting the wear and going up, and you're asking for a tear?
I mean, it was gonna happen anyway.
Listen, there's also so the way experience works is we have some questions at the end. One of the questions, if you answer yes, you get it. One of the questions is if you've we've had some bad consequences from your vice or a tear. So technically, getting a tear early,
I kind of like.
more opportunities to get experience.
To get
As we've seen in Sunday, Kelder is like doubled up on everybody's experience with
Yeah,
all the
just-
shit Kelder's gotten into.
I like
Mhm.
okay.
I'm also about to kill Michaela's character.
It is
Yeah.
actually, for example, Blades in the Dark is actually a high level move, is stressing your character out a shit ton early, so then they have this really fucked up thing
Yep.
that'll be a pain for you, but also get you more experience.
Can this still be finesse? That kind of matters on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
taking-
is like
Another-
you're aiming the shot.
Thing with the Devil's Bargain is the shock of the creature coming at you could also scramble up your
wires.
part of your circuitry in a sense, so that you momentarily don't recognize your allies from your enemies,
That'd be
and thus
cool.
then you hurt their forces.
Possibly. I
If
think
it
that-
involves
Yeah,
killing a
Kristen, stop
teammate,
it.
Kristen's all on it. Yeah, so if you want that, also any of these.
Speaking of murdering teammates,
I'm feeling the. God, I
I'm
know
so
it seems
excited.
extreme, but like with you do the way you've described it, it's like literally coming right at me, like it's darkness surrounding me, effectively.
But if you get a 6, you do nothing bad will ever happen if you get a 6.
Oh, I know.
6. Just
So
for
this
a
is
sake.
you getting out of it.
Oh man.
I'll.
If you want, I'll say you get the bonus die at the end of all this. You'll suffer a tear if you haven't already.
Okay. All right. What? I kind of want to accept. I want to accept the devil's bargain here. What is the devil's bargain? What is the ultimate thing that we're doing here? I know you're asking me to decide.
We've thrown out a lot of ideas.
I
Which
want
one is
I
up
want
to you?
I want you to tell me which one you think works the best. I've already I think
Thomas hurt him.
Forgetting
I-
yourself, seeing everything as a target. That was my idea because you're so more robotic.
I like kill mode. I like kill mode.
okay.
Murderbot.
Come on. I would like increased effect.
Yes, you did, but
All
I
right.
didn't know.
Yes, because now if you succeed,
One-on-one.
Okay.
Come on, buddy.
guys,
5.
But it's still not-
5.
Okay, that's good. Ish.
So first things first,
I love you. No
you
matter what.
will slay the beast. So the rest of the party's like, fuck, this is taking forever. There's no way. And the church just very quickly,
He's a monster slayer.
when everybody else gets out of his way, he,
That's when he strikes.
that's when he shreks. Yes, that's when he shreks.
I mean, I'm just sending depth charges at this guy.
Somebody once told me.
Consequence is level 3 harm. I think it's still propelled at you and you blast at it and you kill it, but it's still the force of it still knocks it.
How can I absorb that with armor?
So spending a charge of your armor will reduce it from level 3 to level 2.
I will
And then
do.
you can resist it.
How much armor can I spend? Only one.
Only one. You can only spend 1 armor.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend 1 armor.
And then you can roll a resistance roll to reduce it again.
I think it's
Nice,
grit,
man, yeah.
right?
What's that?
I think this is grit.
Grit or wit, or you positioned yourself in a way where the
Wit.
back blast of your gun pushed you in a
I get
direction.
4 dice for wit.
Okay.
Whoa! So that means
Wait,
you have
am I
1
allowed?
in every single thing.
Have I done it wrong? I have 1 in engage, 1 in stock. I moved 2 to finesse, and then I have 1 in tinker, 1 in weave, and then 1 in persevere. Do I need to move it around? Is that too much?
So
Is
you
that-
don't have 1 in it. So the way it works is you only count the amount of first, I can't say this anymore because somebody else, Kristen or
So the
Taylor.
first bubble in that area is the only thing that counts to the overall spirit. So
So you don't stack per.
correct. So
So
having
having
2 in
two-
convince does not add to your spirit. It
I'm
only
not
gives you
looking at the
1.
bubble sheet. I had to write everything down on a different sheet.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the wit ones are examine, finesse, tinker, weave.
Yep.
If you have 1 point in any of those, it adds 1 to your wit.
Okay.
If you have
Oh,
2
I get you.
points,
So
it
it's
adds
3.
1 point.
It's 3.
Okay.
Yep.
You
It's
don't. You
3.
can't stack them. Yeah. Yeah.
I get that.
So the max you'll ever
That
have
makes
is
sense. Okay, I just was. Thank you.
3 is good.
three
Three
is still
dice is,
Three is
is
solid
pretty
though.
safe.
Holy shit.
3 is
Yeah.
still very good. So we will, we will roll to resist, and a 3 is what we rolled.
A 3.
A 3, 2,
All
and a
right.
1.
So that wow, that's a bad roll, but we shouldn't be surprised.
Nope.
So that puts you at 9 wear, right?
Yep.
Oh.
9 where? But I did armor. Would it have been 2 or no?
Armor reduces the damage you take, so you take level 1 harm now,
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not.
and
Yeah,
then
you're
you take 3 wear.
Do I
for
only
that
mark
roll.
one of these ones then? One of these one
Yep,
boxes?
only 1. If you want, you can put a little description in there of what happened, just for.
Darkness has consumed me.
Ouch.
Well, I thought. Oh,
Yeah, 9 where? But I've slain the beast.
yeah. Kill the beast.
The siege breaker is gone.
Easy.
So sticking with the clock.
GG, easy.
We're gonna start another 6-tick clock here, which is the party's
Oh shit. We
climb.
get a siege breaker now. Yeah.
Yeah,
buddy.
you get a siege breaker. You get a
Oh no!
which is the climb to the king. This is you guys fighting your way up through up to the top of the tower where the king and his forces are
Threw him in the tallest tower.
in there. So we're gonna go kind of So it's actually
We're gonna
Fiona.
shrug him.
Exploding birds everywhere. Beautiful.
So what do you guys do? I think we can go through. Let's do a little quick like a montage for each of you as you're making your way up. You're
Eye of the tiger.
fighting. You're fighting. There's parts where you're fighting through things. There's parts where something's collapsed and you gotta somebody's gotta blast through.
Yeah.
How are you guys going about doing this?
With the primordial stuff, I think Oreo would still try to at least pick some stuff up and out of the way. It's pretty much sort of trying to at least be useful here that she can manipulate actual like ice forces. So maybe like an ice thing to pick up like say a pillar or something.
Yeah, so you can kind of like design your own scene and how you're contributing to it, and then we'll just count this as normal towards the clock. Everything's gonna be standard difficulty or standard effect risky.
Mm.
So yeah, you can if you're weaving it, you can like magically like force all this rubble to the side temporarily.
Okay. A 4.
A 4. All right. So yeah, I think you guys come to a blocked end, and you get to the second where you're like, do you turn around? And Sardine's like, we got it. We're going through
Okay.
that wall or whatever. And I think you go to blast through this.
Mhm.
The consequence here is, at every turn, you guys are harried by all of these grotesque beasts. And I'm gonna do another 2 ticks on Augusto Sardine.
Augusto.
For now.
No. Maybe it's time for that.
Sure.
All right.
I'm just going away.
Yeah, as he goes back probably with Rio and hold the
Yeah,
line.
we're trying to like keep him off you from behind.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay, concentrate. Ice, baby.
And then in the background, I have my.
It's beautiful.
Totally not a ripoff of Under Pressure, which you guys are also, because you're on the ocean floor, you're also under a lot of pressure.
Yep.
Mm.
It's the terror of knowing. That's what it's about.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Oh my god.
I feel
What
like
you gotta do?
as we're going through, I help stun things initially, so I keep doing that like rock and roll jam. So
Yeah.
that way it makes it just easier for us to get through to a point. So until we get to the nether blocked passage.
Gotcha. Give me a weave roll. You know where all the consequences are going.
5.
5. All right. I'm gonna finish King Eldrin.
This is from. No,
Uh,
no,
no.
no, resist it.
Or
I'll,
not.
who can resist that?
I can resist. Yeah. How am I resisting?
So this is just you guys taking too long.
Okay.
Get there,
Yeah,
essentially.
no. I do that. So I'm like, and then I do the full arm swing because it didn't work the first time. So it's that full arm swing, and then rock it out again, and that gets them.
It sounds like you're keeping your spirits high.
Yeah.
Yes. I rolled.
Oh, that guy right there.
5. So
Hey.
it's 1 where.
Also, by the way, guys, if you didn't know, this is the system Kristen only rolls really well in. If you haven't.
Let her, at least one of us.
This
Let her
is-
just
this
doing it.
is-
Yeah,
You and
give Kristen a
Josh.
D20 and we're in trouble.
Unless she's playing Keller and trying to get her kids to like her, then
Yeah.
she's
That is just no.
There you go.
Every single time.
Sad
That's the
face.
only reason why I got where that led me to the tear. No
Oh my
fight
God.
got me where. It was as soon as I was like, I want to reconcile with my children. And then
the
it's like, fuck
stress.
you.
And then we get Kristen's like abusive, like alcoholic dad yelling at her kids.
Because there were
Yeah.
certain times I couldn't take the wear. So it was like, I guess I'm just a dick.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's sad, but it's
You
great.
know,
Oh, I guess I'll abuse my children.
RPG Kristen, not too different from real Kristen. You know, just gets drunk and yells at the kids.
Whoa.
That's exactly it.
During school hours.
Shut the fuck up, Michaela.
Sorry. What was that? She was
Michaela's
talking.
not your.
She's the closest thing I got. I don't have
She's
any
your
children
pet,
in
not
the
your
house.
kid. Remember?
What don't?
I've adopted her. She didn't want it.
Hey,
my
get an
God.
extra $500 for that stimulus.
All the things I do for you.
I also stole her stimulus check because I claimed her as a dependent, so she couldn't claim it. So I was just like, take that off. I'll take it.
So,
Wow.
Good. You do need more booze.
yep.
This is getting too real.
So you guys aren't necessarily going up like a stairwell. It's more like a just an open circle where on each level there is stuff around since you're swimming around, right?
Multi-layered. Okay.
You guys are coming up, making your way through, getting close to where
Mhm.
the King's Chambers should be.
Yeah.
Rio, it's your turn. What scene do we get on you for the montage?
Okay, so for the montage stuff,
Yes.
are we still
Yeah,
getting hit
how are
by
you helping
those? Are we still getting hit by that the frozen whatever?
At every turn, they're like, if anything, they don't have to be the main point of the scene. They're almost like stormtroopers, where they're just shooting at you in the background, right? And you just turn, so you turn
Nice,
to
nice.
one, and yeah.
So I think if Polaris is still playing and like running,
Mhm.
I'll probably like try to deflect from side to side. You know, totally just jumping back and forth, just making sure that she doesn't get hit by anything.
All right.
Keeping
Sounds like a
keeping
weeb
the
roll.
support alive. Yeah, it's a weeb roll. Yeah, it is. It is a weeb roll. It is 100% a weeb roll. 100%.
No, what action do you want to do here?
I only roll weeb. Okay, that's how this works.
Oh.
I think it would be I would make a case for finesse.
Yeah,
Trying to deflect attacks. It's less like engaging and exerting. It's more like I'm trying to deflect or keep her
I think
from taking damage.
some of these have these almost like spines that like shoot out of them towards you guys.
Oh,
So
shit,
you
okay.
know, deflecting them away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I have. We're not getting an extra dice for anything, right?
Unless you want a devil's bargain, or you want to push yourself, or somebody wants to help you.
How much? Where is it to push yourself?
2.
2. I'll push myself. I get 2 die.
I'm still shit. I might need for my 5. I only have 5. I'm scared.
Ness.
Come on, crit.
5.
5.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Augusta
And I'm at-
Sardinian's gonna take a hit for you.
God damn it. I'm at 5 where?
You guys can tell I'm not really trying to physically kill you. This is why I like this system, because I don't have to physically try and kill you. I could just kill all your friends when you fail. So I'm doing 2 ticks on the sardine block, which will put him
It's good for now.
in killing range. But yeah, you guys deflect through, and you're coming up on where most of what you've seen has just been like remnants or stragglers from the main force that have made their way through there. You've also been going across like tons of these just like dead bodies, also dead tritons on the way up. But you see in front of you, there looks to be almost one singular entity. Every now and then you see some of these shapes like grow out from it and then detach, and they all slam into this this gate or this giant door of sorts that has the sheen of some kind of magical protection on it. And then you see it reform all into one thing. Meanwhile, Church, you've slayed the beast. Your visions run red. What is next?
He reloads his
There's,
gun.
You could go kill Yad if you want.
He's dead. No, he
net for you and a
you-
net for you.
he reloads his gun because he's a badass. And then he's he's
Nets
going
are good.
to
They're like a trap. They carry stuff. They catch stuff. Nets are great.
he's going to transform and move after the rest of the party in their wake if he can, just to trail behind. Best just try to regroup.
Give me I think like an exert. How do you think you're going to catch up, right?
Torpedo,
Stalk.
torpedo.
I'm going to stalk them.
All right. That'd be like trailing somebody, doing
Trailing.
all that.
Yeah.
Follow the
I'm gonna
blood
start another
ice.
click, which is Church arrives.
Perfect.
Perfect
Church
plot.
arrives. We'll just see how this goes. I only have
This
one.
is okay. I was gonna say, I think whenever I say something is a fortune roll is something that doesn't really have consequences.
Perfect. I want that.
I don't think there's consequences. This is just you. I mean, the penalty for rolling bad is
don't
it
advance.
just takes you longer to get there.
Mhm.
Also on fortune rolls, and a lot of other clocks for like long-term things. The way ticks work for this is on a 1 to 3, you get 1 tick. 4, 5, you get 2. 6, you get 3.
I like
crit, you get 5 ticks.
Huh.
Perfect. I'm
Get
just
those
gonna
6s.
I'm just gonna roll this then because I just got one.
You can push yourself if you want to get a
I
carry.
knocked it off the table. All right. One.
Ah.
One tick.
I'm so sorry, Ed. I'm
One
so
tick.
sorry.
One tick. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Tick by tick. Where I think it's not that you're like slow or anything. I think you're just
They're far ahead.
in like full kill mode too, right? Like
Yeah.
you stop and kill every single thing on the way there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's none of this just like breaking through shit. You're just like
We're not playing Lancer, but I'm living my mech dream right now. Okay? So I'm just like unfolding and destroying people. All right.
Heck yeah.
main group. This beast seems to be roughly 60 feet from you. You maybe can just see it as you're going up. It's just a purely vertical tunnel of sorts. Where maybe you could see around the edge, where you can see it. It hasn't seen you yet. It seems to be just knocking on this wall. What do you do?
That's where we're going.
Yeah,
That's where we're going.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
you
Sardine's
ready to
like-
get in?
I would hope so. Okay. Okay. Do you want me guys to do anything like?
Let me. I'll try to distract it, but you better get in as soon as you can.
Okay. Okay.
Oh God, don't kill me. I am going to do like a siren song, which is to like gather attention. But I move away from.
So it can't see you. So essentially, having a hard time. Think of it where the room you're in has like a hole in the roof that goes up, so you could look beyond the side of it to see it. So think the hole. I mean, the hole itself is probably like a 10-foot radius. It's probably like a giant thing,
Okay,
and then
then I
there's
don't
like
do
a
this
room
yet.
on the side, and then there's like another tunnel up, and then like, that's where it stopped at the end of the hall.
So is it in our way or not?
It is directly in your way.
Okay, so
It takes up
my
roughly the whole 10-foot radius of this little tunnel passage going on.
I can try to use
my plan is to attract its attention, sneak through, and I'm just gonna try to hide.
All right.
Until I can sneak my way.
Wait, you're gonna try and attract its attention and hide? I'm sorry. I don't think
I'm gonna attract its attention first, so the rest of the group can get through, and then at some point I'm gonna do my best to hide since I'm smaller than it, and then sneak in afterwards. Is my
Alright.
Somebody stay with you?
That would defeat the purpose.
know,
Get to
but,
the
like,
king.
Okay, good luck.
All right.
So I move away from the party.
So the way we could do this is you could draw it down. Michaela and Josh can make like stock rolls to hide, and you're will be setting them up.
Yep.
With whatever action you want to do.
Yes.
There will be consequences for failure here. That's all. Also, Tatsuo is with them.
Tatsuo's here. He'll help.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, you can stay
was
with
like-
me.
Hey, yeah, I'm just kind of drunk and gambling underwater. That's
Hey.
what I do.
I can be Tatsuo if you need me to.
Yes.
I
Maybe
need you
Tatsuo can help
to.
us so that the camera focused people can move through.
All right.
Okay.
So how is he helping you?
I feel like
What do
he
you think?
shoots them.
Is he the
Like,
bait? Is he just like, hey, over here?
yeah, and then I'm on the other side of the area and I'll like play. So it's like it's gotta try to pay attention to two things.
Hey, gross shadows! Ah!
All right. Yeah. Give me. Are you weaving up some magic music?
Yes.
We're still dealing with shadows, right?
6!
Okay.
Got a 6.
Not a crit, but a 6.
Oh, thank you. I don't have to think of consequences.
It's
Okay.
probably
Yeah. So everybody gets a +1 on their roll. By everybody, I mean two of you. So you're gonna like guide it, you like Tatsuo shoots at it. You make like this boingy noise, and it fires back like immediately with this big. I think you see just like yellow like some sort of energy underneath the surface of it pulse, and then like this just giant beam shoots out down at Tatsuo, who
Fuck.
gets out of the way because you rolled a 6.
Okay.
I
I was like, are you coming? As a
Tatsuo die.
1d6 pump jump.
So yeah, it does that, and then it goes back to like pounding on it, and I think it takes you guys to do it again to where it like detaches and like moves at you, where it's again there's like this central core, but then different parts of it just like detach, like it's a separate thing, and they all rush after you. You guys, I assume, moving in another direction than the rest of the
Yes.
party,
Yep.
right? To lead it away.
And we gotta hide somewhere so we can get away from it long enough to try to figure out how to get through ourselves.
On the way out, Rio locks eyes with Tatsuo. For a second.
I'm still alive.
All
So
of this is steady eye contact.
Yeah.
So go ahead
Yeah.
and make a stock roll. I assume that for Oreo and Rio, you can group action the two of you if you want.
Huh. I have one in
Okay.
stocking
I'll-
only.
I
too.
was downloading something.
Okay.
So if you group action, it's like you rolled 2d6 instead of 1d6.
Okay.
But
Then,
there's that extra wear cost.
yeah.
Because you have to pick a leader and stuff. I don't think we can.
It would make sense actually to follow you because you're smaller.
Yeah, but I don't have.
I know. That's why.
Wow.
So
First
let's
of all,
go.
wow.
I'm
Okay.
8 feet tall. Okay.
Hey, sure.
Little
This is Michaela living out her life of being a short person. This
I
feels
love it.
Go in
You're
front.
short.
Go in
You're
front.
short.
Shorty.
You're extra short.
Short McShorterson. Fucking tough short people. I hate them so
It
much.
doesn't become short. Even my teachers, they thought I was not a teacher. They thought I was a freaking student, and I was teaching those kids. They thought I was one of the. Okay, that's a whole different story.
Well.
I'll roll alone. You roll alone, and hopefully it's okay.
Yeah, because if we do a group, it's one of us takes on all the failure.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
All right. This means you
Stock.
succeed and fail individually.
1.
Fun.
Mark that drive.
You guys know that I gave you
No, I have 2
extra
drives.
rolls.
Yes,
Right.
you do
Wait.
also get. There was a setup.
I gave you a setup.
You got
Oh,
another
so
one.
one more.
Yes.
Take
Sick.
that one more. 2.
I rolled the same thing.
So you both fail.
I rolled the same.
I could only do much for you.
I'm throwing this dice too.
I rolled a 3.
I have now 2
Alright.
drives. I'll use that later.
All right. So it's distracted. The hilarious thing here.
So do only ones mark failure?
1 to 3. 1 to 3.
1 to 3 marks failure. Okay. So I need
Anything
to toss
below a
this
4.
over.
Part of me wants to finish the King Eldrin clock, like you show up and he's already dead, and there's just some other people still there. I think I want to do that.
Oh my god.
No, I will. I don't know if I can resist that shit now because we failed
Well,
so
2
hard.
of you rolled 2, and you. Well, I mean, I get 2 different consequences. You both rolled individually.
What are the consequences? Because I don't want him to
You could
die.
also kill Augusto.
That's what I was thinking.
My brother.
I
Or at
think
least
I'm gonna
give
keep
him one
him.
more tick.
I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna do. Because this is pretty desperate. This is 3 ticks. I'm gonna do Triton Forces 3 ticks. As this is again, they're out. They're not with you, but this is just as time goes on, they're getting.
Attrition. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a place to
More
throw
now.
ticks. That doesn't
So-
completely fuck up.
The Mercy Bank.
Mercy
That's
bank.
one way. Because I'm
So,
angry.
does anybody want to resist that? Does anybody care about the unnamed NPCs?
For now, I don't care.
They're not books. So we
For
don't...
the Emperor.
All right, 3 on those, and then I'm gonna do 3 on King Eldrin.
Wait.
Actually died.
I would
and
like
took
to-
his body here, and this is just the remains of
Are
the
you
shrine.
resisting Michaela or am I?
I have terror of 5. I can still take some 5.
The important thing to also remember here is you guys don't make it to the door. The failure means you don't get what you want.
Okay.
So I think they distract it, but you just don't feel like you have an opportunity as this thing like retaches and like breaks apart constantly. It's like in
I
multiple.
would still like
places.
to give the king a chance though, so I would like to take I would like to stop that from happening for now at least.
All right, give me
Okay.
like a grit roll.
Grit. From me that's what do for grit
3.
again?
Oh,
3?
wait, no, you have 2 for great. 'cause you
Gotcha.
have 1 there.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna change
One.
those the order.
You also have
Wait,
1
how much
for
were
wit.
you
2.
at? 2?
Wait.
Oh, you only have 2 where? Holy shit.
I mean no,
No,
not
2
where.
grit.
Sorry,
She's
sorry.
at 5 where.
I'm at 5.
All right,
Sorry.
so if you
Also
roll
at
double
5
ones,
where,
you get a
so-
tear. Come on, double ones, 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 double ones,
Michaela.
ones.
I have a 3 and a 1.
A 3? All right.
Yeah.
So
No, you only get 3.
3.
Also, you don't mark failures on resistance or fortune rolls
Okay. Good job.
because there is no failure.
Okay.
You have 1 wit also.
So that puts you 2 away from Terra. So don't push yourself.
Nope. Nope.
Uh,
Everybody save the freaking purpose, dude.
just give yourself an aneurysm. So you guys can't get there. Church, give me another roll to
The king stays alive. The king stays alive.
2.
2. All right, that's 1 more.
I'm not.
No.
marked.
You're getting there eventually.
Just stay in the corner.
Someday
You're also
I
you don't
arrive.
have a guide with you, and you're in a foreign castle, so
Yeah.
it is gonna take
I'm just getting around. This is me like fucking like going, stealthing around
Corners.
each corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secret robot man.
What's next? So Polaris and Tatsuo, you both have this thing like on your tail, and you're both getting away from it for now. But this thing is not leaving you alone. I think you moved away and you're kind of trapped in a dead end area. So it's
Yeah.
kind of stuck in a thing where it's still blocking kind of Rio and Oreo.
I will
But it's
try-
still it's like Riorio.
Who?
Are being stuck.
Riorio.
I like it.
Or
Whereas you
Rio.
two are maybe like trying to like have it chase you through this corridor, but it just like dead ends. It's coming closer.
It's time to
what do you
hide.
do?
Let's dive in because there's like this breaking down wall and it attaches to another house or room, hopefully. So dive in openly, but once we're in the house, we hide so that way it loses our track, but it still we still got its attention.
Yeah, give me a stock roll.
Please do.
Come on. Come on. Do it, Kristen.
Devil's bargain.
1.
That's a good point. Never forget about Devil's Bargain. and
God
stuff.
damn it.
This one is also garbage.
What?
God damn it.
All right. I think we get the classic.
Mark a fail, don't lose
What
it.
do you like hiding behind? What do you like hiding behind?
I feel like so far I wasn't. I feel like there's rubble there that we kind of dodged to, but we need to get out of this dead end. And there was a crack and like a sizable crack in the wall, too small for it, but big enough for us. And that was the goal, was to get into the crack.
Yeah. So you guys are like you're shimmied in the crack, right? And I think it's just like this like tense pause where we kind of see it pass by you, and then like you get that like exhale. As I think you're the second one in, Tatsuo is the first one in. He's a little quicker. As you turn to look at Tatsuo, and you just see fear in his eyes. As I think we see in his like dilated pupils, this thing just like burst back in front of the crack as it just lets out like this blast of energy into it. This just like concentrated fire of level 4 harm.
Nope. Resist.
Right.
Resisting that. Duck away.
So it is blasting you, and then it is also going to grasp onto you with sort of like this amalgamation of like bodies that emerge out of it to try and pull you in.
The other consequence?
So you have 2 consequences. One is level 4 harm, and the other is to be pulled in.
Oh, from how kills it, yes?
Okay,
Yes,
first
if you
let's
take-
roll
if you take
for
level
level 4
4
harm.
you're dead.
Don't die. Yeah, let's just.
So you can spend armor, and you can also make resistance rolls.
Even spending armor, I only have 1 armor point, so I only have
That's
light
spend it.
armor, so.
Yep. So then you spend the 1 point, and it
So
moves
it's
it
level
down.
3, and I'm essentially hobbling around in the area?
Yeah,
No.
you need Tatsuo to take you. Tatsuo is also not hard. He doesn't get. He's got cover from Polaris.
From
Thank
you.
God.
But he's definitely.
Oh, I should have had
scathed.
Tatsuo assist me on that fucking roll also, because he's right.
He was.
the
He was
goddamn
also
thing.
hiding. He wasn't assisting. He was hiding too.
Like, getting me to go, like doing that, like.
Can I?
I'm not saying take it back. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I'm an idiot for
Now,
not.
if, as you said, Rio, if you would like to resist this, as
I'll
well, you
resist
can.
whatever she's not resisting.
All right. So you're resisting the damage, Kristen.
Yeah, I just resist.
Taking damage or are you taking grapple?
She just resists the damage.
I resist the damage. Like I feel like I feel like I see in the eyes the thing come, and as soon as the beam goes, I like push into Tatsuo, and I also think Tatsuo grabs and manage to avoid the beam, but I'm still grasped now at this point. I have only 7 wear. I could risk the tear.
7 after your
Yeah,
you
after
rolled
this,
to resist.
I have 3 tear risk.
terrorists.
I don't like that. See, I could come up behind it maybe. As I
No,
see
yeah,
it's
like this is if you
finding
wanted
you
to
guys.
resist it. This is you showing up and like chopping these arms that are grabbing her.
Yeah, no, I would like to do that for sure.
That makes this whole plan have been useless. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
it's a good thing the
But if
strong
we
man
die,
was
we
there
can't
to
make
help
plans.
Our damsel in distress.
God damn it, I've been damseled.
You've been
Good thing
damned.
Tatsuo was there too to help our Princess Peach.
Tatsuo's Luigi. Oh, Rio's Mario.
Mamma mia!
I mean, we would establish everybody who lives in Bastion is Italian.
Tatsuo's Luigi.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so Tatsuo is really tall. He can jump higher than his brother, but
Yeah.
he also is like on ice physics all the time.
And like if you
Sucks.
hold the jump button, you kind of float for a second because he kicks a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Player 2.
So go ahead and make a grit roll for me, Rio, if you're resisting it for.
I have 3 grits.
All right, if you roll all ones, I'm gonna be happy.
I'm gonna try not to do that. I'm so nervous. Rolled a 1, but 2 6s.
Oh! So on a crit, remove one wear. You go from 5 to 4.
Oh fuck yes!
The other one.
Oh, nice.
It like takes a load off your shoulders. Being a hero here.
It's the role he was born to play.
So I would probably hear them cry out as like they take damage, and immediately it's just like a turnaround and just try to cut the.
Even though we don't really have mechanics for it right now, you can still teleport with your scabbard.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
To do that.
This is the first time I've ever used that. It would immediately be like sword goes in and then just and I'm gone.
Oh,
And just appear and slice the arm off reaching for him.
Church, do me another roll.
it's the ultimate weeb move. I love it.
Gotta love those weeb rolls, man.
They're so good.
Oh, I forgot to add the ticks to the climb to the king, but you guys filled it. That was you guys reaching this part.
Yes, I got another 1. I love this. I love how long this is taking.
You're
Perfect.
supposed to save the day,
3. I'll get there just as you guys save the day.
just as we die.
I love it.
Oh.
I think Oreo hasn't had the
I'm-
spotlight yet.
I'm
Yep,
good.
the
I'm good
Oreos-
till 10:30, by the way.
Oreos is next.
Yeah.
Okay. Oreo.
Uh-huh.
What do? You see Rio do this. You hear the shouts of your friends.
Okay, we need to get to the king. I will turn to Augusta. Is there a password or anything that we can get in now?
Augusto's just like, go. He's got like his trident and spear as he's
Okay.
going in to
Yep.
join in on the fight.
And I'm gonna try to punch
sad, isn't
my
it?
monkey shit into this freaking door. When
So you try and
Can
Our
we-
door clock.
punch them, or
The door clock. No!
I'm gonna try
Don't
to
give him
engage
ideas.
the door.
I'll give the clock a clock too.
No!
And let's see.
So here's the minute hand, here's the second hand, but here's the hour hand.
Okay. Trying to read if I have anything. That's why I'm like, shut up. Okay. I have consumable alcohol. I cannot use that right now.
What do you do? How do you want to get in here? He tells you to go.
Okay. And I'm just gonna try to. There's magic on this door, but also I want to hit it really hard. Okay, so.
Act like just like the monster.
No, wait. If the monster was hitting, it didn't open. That's a good question.
It looks like it's been weared down a little bit.
Okay.
This is like when you can't open those pickles and then you give it to somebody and it pops right off.
Yep. Fuck.
I loosened it up for you. That's why it was so easy.
Mhm.
Would outlet the rest of my strength that I have, I would try to like finish what the monster is doing and get in.
All right,
he's-
yeah.
if-
Make like exert.
Exert.
Or like if you're just going, I don't know. It
Engaging
make
the
a gate.
door.
I don't know.
Because if I need to exert, then I can maybe weave a powerful hopefully blow, which I have more
you
in
can
that.
do setup actions for yourself. It'll take some time.
We don't have any more time
No,
either.
no.
I have a consequence if this is breaking out down the door. I've got one.
Okay, I will try breaking it down the
Fucking
door.
killer.
I would like to
No.
break down the door if I with a powerful icy blow. Again, how I was getting us through, I would try to like attempt like a similar crack the door open, like Elsa moves to and says Frozen 2. Do that shit. If you saw Frozen 2, it was pretty impressive. I will try to let it go.
Cold never bothered you anyway. Build every
Unknown.
snowman.
Into the unknown.
5.
5. All right. So it does break down. You break through this door. Ed, I want to hear what your consequence is.
This was previously being broken down, correct?
Yes.
The King's Guard was getting ready to fire at whatever came through.
Exactly. You break down this door, and instantly these harpoon guns, you get 2 shots, just like thunk thunk right in the chest.
Oh god.
I would like to use my armory thing on this shit.
This is level 3 harm.
I'm taking.
Oh my
I'm
god.
destroying my armor.
I threw it out there. I was like, "Yep. Do you want to do the same thing about?"
Yep.
You also could have just said, "Hey." Talk to him. Probably open the door.
No, this is more dramatic.
You know, Oreo's like, he's like, get in. I'm like, okay.
It's in the moment you're going. So you roll you can resist it. You can spend armor.
Now, if you dodge it, it hits Sardine.
Oh, I have a drive. I will spend a drive.
Yeah, so drive
Out
will
of
let you
reflex, you go
automatically
like this and watch it.
reduce
Okay.
You don't have to roll resistance.
Gotcha. So I don't have to take off my armor, but I can use drive.
So the way drive is in place of rolling resist.
Gotcha. So
Drive lets you resist without rolling.
Oh, then I will do that. I will use my drive.
So you can use your drive to move it down to 2.
Okay.
And then you can use your armor to move it down to 1.
Yeah, still at 1. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, as they both shoot you, and then they look like they just have like a confused look on their face. You see one Triton. He looks a little more, I don't know, like older, a little more wrinkly. Maybe he's got like a mole with some hair, with some graceful hairs coming out of them.
Nice spears.
But he also looks on the verge of death. As you see like most of the life drained out of his eyes.
You need help and good shooting. That's good. Okay. Augusto, do your thing. I don't know.
Meanwhile, what's happening around the Death's Gaze? What are you guys doing? Polaris, you were just shot. There's a little ringing in your ears. Rio is engaged with it. What do you all do?
Like, Rio, you're supposed to be there, and I point at the thing, but I imagine I'm behind him, so he can't see where I'm pointing, but he probably knows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where we're all standing, because you guys are like hidden inside the crevice,
I
whatever
feel like
it is.
the wall is busted.
Yeah,
and
now
easily
everything's
see
just
us.
part of that blow, like just blew.
So it's just me versus the thing. Because Polaris, don't you have level 3
No,
harm?
Rio's there with you.
No, I resisted the harm.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so you still have Tatsuo. Tatsuo can assist.
Tatsuo, yeah.
Can assist you guys.
Tatsuo.
Yeah, I think Tatsuo should assist Rio, and actually, I think I will assist Rio also, because you're the one who can attack this thing.
Do you want to set up?
Yeah, I'm gonna set you up, bud. I'm gonna do a sound wave, which is more of like irritating it along the side, so that way you can get in a better blow. So like getting all its extra tentacles away from you.
I've been forgetting about Sardine too. Sardine will be included in your roll. He'll have increased effect.
Okay.
As
Nice.
he's
Okay.
also fighting with you.
So let's.
Awesome.
And then I can take a die from Tatsuo, right?
Spear.
So roll the setup, Kristen. Or you could just do the assist and give him at the cost of 1 wear.
Yeah, I'll do the assist.
His face is
Better than having a fuck up and having.
All
more
right,
than
so
one wear.
Rio, you get 2 bonus dice here
2 bonus dice
We're
and
gonna
increased
do, like,
effect.
do your
and
best.
increased effect.
So this will be 3 ticks.
I'm
Unless you
gonna-
want to turn those bonus dice into more effect.
I'm gonna engage.
All right. Engage.
Engage.
Here goes. Here goes. Here goes. Here goes. 4.
4. All right. So 4. It succeeds. That's 3 ticks on him. 3 ticks. I mean, what do we do here?
We get hit
Got
during my
3
attack.
ticks to give. Do I want to hit you, Rio? I like hitting everybody near you because you're the guy who wants to get hit.
That's so evil.
No, I think we do 2 consequences here. I think you get hit. You're gonna suffer level 3 harm, and so is Augusto.
And then resist. Armor and then resist.
Augusto's also suffering.
I cannot. I can. Oh wait, I will be dead. I will have a tear if I do that.
It's just a tear. Get knocked
Wait,
out
okay,
to
I
save your
can-
brother.
Church, you also arrive whenever you want now. You're free to. You don't have to roll again because there's no way.
I'm gonna arrive as soon as possible and take a shot at this thing.
So yeah, you can go next if you want.
What's the consequence though?
So Rio, you can roll a resistance if you want, and you don't have to decide all of the rolls you do. You can do them one at a time. So Rio, if you want to move that from level 3 down to level 2,
Because I'm gonna bust my armor. I have
Yep,
light
so-
armor.
so that'll move it down to level 1 harm,
Okay.
and then roll a grit roll. As
So
this thing
I only have 2 level 1 harm,
blasted.
which is amazing. So, and then roll a grit roll. You said?
Yep.
Oh, double 6s. Get away more wear.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of all your wear by making you guys roll.
I get 3 grit dice. So
I know. Keep it up.
6.
6. All right, you take
6, 4, and a
0.
2.
Okay.
All right. Now the second consequence was Augusto also takes 3 ticks and dies.
Nope.
You can resist that as well if you'd
Uh-huh.
like.
Can I use a drive on that?
Rio can.
resist again.
What's that? All right.
Resist again. I rolled a 6. There's no consequence.
Michaela just said she wanted to use a thing.
Like if you can't, it'll help me because
You're
I'm
gonna
like,
burn your wear. You're
Yeah,
gonna get a
yeah.
tear. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think
I'm at
your
4
core
wear.
ability. You have Battleborn,
Oh.
right?
I am Battleborn.
This is more on you. There's one mastermind lets you protect a teammate.
Yep, that would be later if I update. I mean,
Yeah. So go ahead, roll another 3d6 for me as you and Augusto Sardine weather this fishman himself. Never gonna get old. That dumb fucking name.
1d6.
6s and a 5.
2
I'm
sixes?
not even kidding.
6s?
You want 2 6s and a 5. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god.
This is
All right,
amazing.
go down to 3 wear
Holy shit!
as he lives. Church,
Fucking beast.
Church, you arrive.
I fired down the
Church,
way.
there are many targets available for you.
I start firing. Any chance I can get like a surprise on these guys? Any kind of freebie to like they don't see me coming or no?
Oh, yeah, I'm working into that devil's bargain.
Okay. Yeah, devil's
As
bargain.
long as you take a shot at one of the other PCs eventually.
Yep.
That's the devil's bargain. As long as I
Because
get.
you're in kill mode right
I'm
now.
killing everything.
Murderbot mode, yeah.
That's if I fail.
No, this is just something that
This is
happens.
Devil's Bargain.
This
That's
is
I
Devil's
have-
Bargain.
If
I
you're
have
devil's bargaining.
Yeah,
At
I'm
some
okay.
point.
I'll keep.
It isn't
I'll
necessarily.
keep. At some point, not necessarily right now.
No, it doesn't have to be right now. It
Okay.
can be. You can fight this thing until it dies, and
Uh,
then because it's probably
Gosh.
registering as the biggest threat.
Uh,
Your little scouter goes over it. It's showing your power level.
Yeah,
right?
there's a chance if Rio's like in the thick of it. There's a chance I hit him then.
Yep. I'm
Uh,
fighting it. I'm beating the shit out of it too.
yeah.
Apparently.
That's another thing. So Devil's Bargain is supposed to be things that just happen that you can't. The big thing is you can't resist them.
Right.
okay, then just
But he's not taking devil's bargain
You're
though.
firing indiscriminately,
I'll take
and
the-
if you
I'll
if
take
you if you don't get a success, you shoot Rio.
okay. I'll take devil's bargain. Would that give me either enhanced or a die?
Enhanced or a die, yep. And if you enhance it, you'll kill it on the shot.
I'll enhance.
I have no armor.
I'll enhance.
No armor,
Alright,
my
here we
armor's
go.
busted.
Let's see what this looks like.
I'm like boss battle where all the armor's like, you know.
4.
4.
4. All right. You blast this thing in the back, killing another one of these monstrosities. The consequence is I'm doing 3 ticks on Triton forces.
Sure, let it happen.
Okay.
Fine.
We'll do
Let it
it. We'll
happen.
take it.
Puts him 1 away. He's got that fucking shit-eating smile.
Oh my God.
He's so happy to feel that.
Dude, this is my favorite part that Blades in the Dark lets you do. Is I can get everything so tense, everybody's high on wear unless you're Rio. Great.
And then it's just Josh
And now, like, once things going bad, it can just be a cataclysm of bad things happen. But I think we're gonna cliffhanger it right there.
Oh yeah.
God damn it.
So perfect.
As Oreo has reached the throne room, ready to kill the king.
Not
Wait,
killing
what?
a king. Spear
Uh,
step. Really effective.
Oh my god.
But great job, everybody. There is one last order of business we have to do.
Yep, the end of game move.
End of game shindigs.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know how many of these we'll get because this is mostly like a combat action session.
Mm-hmm.
So we also forgot to do goals. Shit.
My goal this
So-
session was to fire my gun a lot.
No. So
Yes. Just
I
say
no
yes.
goals this time. So if you can say yes to any of these, you get an XP. If it was a major thing this session, you get 2
Mhm.
XP. Did you-
Again, we're out of 9 XP, is it?
Out of 9.
Okay.
Once you hit 9, you get another check mark dot. However you're doing it.
How many
Yeah.
drives can
On
you
any
get?
action. I don't have a cap on them.
Cool, just
You
wanted
can
to know.
Keep getting them up.
Alright.
So, did you face a formidable / life-threatening foe or challenge?
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Yeah.
2.
I think everybody take 2 experience for that
Okay,
one.
now
Alright.
I'm
And these are on an individual basis.
Two,
Okay,
yep.
cool.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I love shooting things. That is my belief.
Like, not really. At least for me, it's like I just try to like bring ice stuff, but it's nothing, no.
This is the way.
If you don't think so, Tom, I won't mark it, but I totally think so.
I-
This is the way.
It's just helping people. That's it.
I think we're close. I think we're setting up Church for a potential 2 next time. When, if he shoots his teammates, then we see the essential nature of Church.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That makes sense.
This is more so like background, other stuff.
Sounds good.
Does my
The
heirloom
more
count?
shooting stuff is more so tied into the first one we did.
Mhm.
What was that?
Does my heirloom count as my background?
Did you feel like you
First time I used it.
at the end of the day, this is all up to you guys. So if you really feel like it,
I
you
give
can
it to
mark-
him.
You can mark your. If you guys feel like
Not,
it, you can give
not
yourself
me,
experience.
but
This isn't for me. I don't decide these really. I'm
Okay.
the person
you-
who's sent to say like challenge it a little bit, but at the end of the day, you guys decide.
yeah, not me, but Rio I think would get it. From
I get 1. I don't get 2. It's
just
not
from
major.
just from
it's
one
just a...
from,
Oh, yeah.
from using his heirloom for the first time.
And the last one is: did you struggle with issues from your vice or tear during this section?
Almost.
No terror. I didn't get any
Oh.
terror.
I wish I'd been drinking the whole time just to get the tear down. Like, just-
You know?
Yeah, I remember we used to game to like really hard to get experience. Like I gotta do this thing.
No, this is the thing is, and we can change these things.
No,
So I made these experience things. So one of them still on from Plays of the Dark. The idea is to encourage a certain kind of play. So by having these as the experience triggers, that means what I'm saying is these are the things I want to see,
yeah.
and these are the things I want to reward you with by
Then we'll push
doing
it.
dangerous shit,
Mhm.
getting background shit, and struggling with bad shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all good fun. All fun.
If
stuff.
we decide we want to play a kind of different, if we're playing like a happy-go-lucky like work at Meyer gas station game, we might have one that's like,
Please have it be
did
Blades in the
you
dark.
get reported
get the donuts?
to the manager?
Uh-huh.
Did someone successfully bag and steal all of the expired food. Did you?
So good.
I'm so tempted.
It would be so
Who got to
fun.
mark the drive
I'll
off?
provide a weak argument, but I'm betting this doesn't count. But my vice is attention, the large thing, almost killing myself.
I would give that one.
I
Personally.
don't think it should deliver, but
But did you do it? It was kind of like
I
a
didn't
beneficial
struggle
thing
with
to the
it.
team.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a thing.
This is mainly things that are bad that didn't have to happen, but
Yeah.
That's
because
true.
you are the way they are,
They
they
have to be well fought.
because it was a solid plan. You guys just rolled like shit.
Yep, that's true.
All right. With the that's the full end move.
That's the full end.
Hell yeah. Hey, YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping by, friends, and playing some of this Dungeons & Dragons with us. You weren't playing. I just said you were, but you weren't. I'm sorry. You were watching. But thank you, other people, human beings here, for playing games with me Wednesday nights. Mr. Tom, for hosting. Super appreciate it, friend. And again, thanks to those who stopped by and hung out with us. All right, if you want to watch any more of our Stars of Shattered Skies campaign, you can catch us on Wednesdays when we are available to play the same
All morning or night.
morning, noon, or night every time. We upload Thursday, so you can catch them then. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great night and stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye.